Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, episode 54 from the Sidelines, or episode 2 of season 2. You can call it that. You know, our second year around the sun. We're trying to get it done. We got another special guest for you guys tonight, coming all the way from the East Coast. Kind of a long ways away from us, but, you know, spent some time out of his day to come join us, and we appreciate him for that. But before we introduce our guest, we got to bring in our hosts. Let's start out with Steven Hatch this week. I don't know. I think I went to Brando last week, so let's go there.
You know, feels weird every time you use my first name, but dude,
it's
we're
fun,
back
dude.
again, dude.
Your face just clenches up. You don't like it.
We're in the villain arc of the show now, season 2, so we're in a good place.
That's a good point. We flourished out the characters. We got the family and friends, and now we gotta keep progressing on in the story.
On fleek right now, so you know.
It's pretty much Attack on Titan. That's what we're doing. And let's bring in our other guests. We got Brando, Baird. What's going on, my guy?
I'm good. See, Steven's very professional, but Steven's very professional. Hatch, even though it's your name, Hatch is your name, it's still like a nickname, seemingly. I was talking to family this past weekend, and they asked my nickname, and you know, I think my dad answered. He was like, "Oh, they call him Brando." They're like, "That's not much of a nickname." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I can't be on your level. I don't know."
Yeah, we're very unoriginal out there. We literally just shortened your name and we use Hatch's last name. Boom, nickname's done.
Boom.
Perfect, simple and straight to the point. Like we're gonna hopefully keep this intro. Well, let's jump into our sponsors real quick. Let's go Liquid IV first tonight. We got the hydration multiplier. If you need to stay hydrated out the field, or you know, maybe you drank too many drinks last night and you're a little hungover, this can help with that too. Our promo code over there is Mafia_Mafia. You can use that at the checkout to get 20% off as well as free shipping. So go head over there if you want to try some out, and we'll be talking about them more later on. We also have NECTR Energy. They've been sponsoring a couple different podcasts in the paintball realm, so we appreciate them. NECTR.energy. That's where you're going to get more information about those. The product code over there is MafiaProductions, all one word on that. It's going to get you, buy 2 get 1 free, so 3 products in total, but you're only going to be paying for 2 of them as free shipping as well. You can try out the product. We appreciate them, and so that's our 2 sponsors. Last update we have is for the headband giveaway for this month. We have the Mafia, or the Moffat, I guess. He used my government name, and I don't know how I feel about that, so thanks, Alex. But the Moffat Hormesis headband, we have my only extra copy. It's number 60 or 97, excuse me. And it's gonna be going to one of our supporters. So we appreciate all you guys over there. You also get the ad-free episodes. You get exclusive content, access to stuff early. So it pays to be a Patreon member, and we support all of our guys who are signed up over there. All right.
Pays to pay.
So without further ado, let's get right into this. Guys, we got a special guest tonight. He's, I don't know, he's kind of a big deal. He's played paintball for a little bit of time. He's been around the block, been, played it in multiple continents, I would say, at this point. But guys, we got Swaggy K. We got Keith Brown in the building. How you doing tonight, man?
Good, man. Thank you guys for having me on. We're just chilling, you know what I mean? We're just, vibing. One of those kind of nights.
It's weird because like the pre-show, it's always so awkward when it's like, because obviously Keith, you and I aren't very familiar, so it's like that awkward quietness. So I'm like, I don't want to get carried away asking a bunch of questions before we get the juicy stories going.
Yes, sir. It's all good, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for blessing us with your presence, brother.
We're happy you could spend some time
Absolutely.
tonight. It is kind of, it's interesting. We're actually a part of a team now together in a way. That's something I'll tease now.
The captain, did you tell him? Did you tell him how that's crazy?
Yeah, it's been awesome over there in the infinite tournament paintball realm. So we'll get into more of that later on in the show. But I mean,
that's right.
You're probably one of the pro guys that I've maybe not known, but I've seen the kind of inside story of for probably the longest. And one of those reasons is the Impact series back in 2015, I think was the first time that you were on it. And
right.
So I kind of wanted to pick your brain about that a little bit, because that was actually one of the first times that I ever saw you, kind of be that, pro paintball figure who's traveling around the globe and all that stuff. And I think a lot of people maybe forget that was, an era of time.
It is kind of crazy because now that I've been on Damage, this is going back. This is year 5. So thinking about it this way is Damage don't give a damn about any kind of clout or any kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
And I was literally telling somebody that today, and they're like, "Oh, it's good to see you post the content." I was like, dude, nobody on my team even cares. But to say in saying that, right, and like going back to the Impact series, and that was the complete opposite. You know, you were getting to see exactly like how we were going through, you know, pretty much the day to day of like the tournament life and like traveling and going crazy, and like we were just having a good time. So like that was a really fun period of paintball that I had, and I'll never forget it. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that you got to see some of it because it was as fun as it looked.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of the funny thing is like, so when I look back on my like, you know, quote unquote paintball career, like those were my like, you know, quote unquote like the high school days, you know, when you're going to the field every weekend, you're trying to scrap together money so you can buy, you know, half a case of paint so you can at least play some points, that kind of era. And so, you know, I'd go home, or, you know, during the day I'd come home from high school, I'd head over to PB Nation and, you know, go check out the latest Impact Series episode, and like, where are they at this week in France, and, you know, and somewhere in Canada, are they back in the States? Like it was just really cool to kind of see that like idealized version of like what the top level of this thing that I was doing was. And it's kind of funny for me now, I've now separated on to where I now look at the filming aspect of it more, but, you know, back through my lens of a paintball player, I thought, yeah, I was jealous. I was a high school kid who was like, damn, that looks awesome. Like they're having a blast.
And that's what we wanted to, you know, show, was that it was more than, you know, just playing the game, because, you know, in some teams it is just playing the game. And we wanted to show that it was pretty much like a family, and we wanted to go have fun. That was the other thing. Like that was the biggest thing about it, was having fun.
I'm glad you only said 2 PTGs, because if we say a third, then like Marcelo just appears out of nowhere, shuts down the show, he copyrights it. So yeah, we can't be using that term over here, but shout out those guys over there. So all right, well, so perfect, man. Yeah, you guys kind of were setting out to just show the fun aspects of paintball. But I will say, in that documentary, there were multiple times where you start to hear Dave's big voice going, and, you know, moments like that in the team. I guess my kind of insight I was looking for a little bit is, you know, what was the dynamic of that team like? Was it really that, you know, very playful and joyful nature that came across on camera, or was there, you know, a more serious undertone that was going on that year? And of course, that was a while ago, so I mean, to the best you can remember.
So the way that I'm gonna explain it, and I think you guys are gonna kind of like it, is so when I started there, right, and you're talking 2015, and you know, we
almost
won
a decade ago at this point, which is crazy.
Yes, literally, which is literally crazy. It is literally crazy.
Old, bro.
We all are, man.
You feel old, bro, like for real. But to think about it that way was, I got on Impact, it was just to have fun. But winning wasn't in their culture yet. I don't think that like people really understand, like it really wasn't there yet. They won some tournaments, no, you know, but it wasn't like they were, you know, dominating the league to where it was like, oh man, you know, other teams are making moves only to beat one team type thing. So like when we started to win, you know, when it came on to 2016 and we won like 6 events out of 9, which is just insane, something like that.
Yeah, because both series and just traveling a lot and just winning paintball.
just winning paintball, and we were doing whatever we wanted to. We were going out, you know, just having a blast. You know what I mean, and just being down on people. And towards the end, it started to become more serious because of how much. I wouldn't say necessarily just like pressure, but it became a standard to win. You know what I mean? And like,
for sure.
Now, if you lost anything, it was not fun.
Yeah, you guys were the
team. You know what I mean? Like it was a team to beat, and it was like you were on such a high of a pedestal that like it was so much harder to have like any kind of little mistakes or anything. So it was like became different.
So there's that. I think, and it's funnily enough, you know, Drive to Survive. I think that's where I heard this before, but I think it was Lewis who was talking about it. Like when he was winning every single race, like the pressure becomes so high to the point where it's like, even getting like, you know, 4th, like it feels like you just failed everything because you get to a point where you're expecting to win. Everyone around you is expecting you to win. And when you can't deliver that, you just feel like you kind of let yourself down, your teammates down, the organization down, like, all of those people down who kind of have this high expectation of you. I mean, is that kind of related to what, you're talking about here?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I mean. And like, it became more difficult because obviously everyone's got to start to evolve and get a little bit better, but it just became more difficult because of what, like you said, we expect now. Now we expect something crazy, and like if we lose 1 point now, it's a blow up almost. Like it's on the it wouldn't necessarily just be a blow up, but it would be right there, right before a blow up, even though the situation might not even be that bad.
Gotcha, but, right in the line for sure.
It was right in the line. It was difficult.
I was just gonna say, it becomes more so, instead of chasing that first taste of success or that first win, it becomes chasing perfection. And like, as anyone out there knows, like you can't be perfect. Like perfectionists, they always have to work against that. Like, it's the concept that you have to just be okay with what you were able to do, even though it's not perfect. And that's where those expectations kind of lead. It's like anything less than first, why did we even show up?
Why do we? Yeah, exactly.
It's just the competitive nature that it's like, we've built over time playing the game, right?
That too.
Of course. Yeah.
I tasted that bottom echelon of like last place, and then all of us have tasted first.
And I think that's sport specific. Like, the kind of pressure you'll feel based off your achievement is more kind of like, let's say Lewis, when he's getting up to like 7 world championships. All right, well, now he's matching the greatest of the greats. So that's kind of, that's their number that they're like, okay, you're really freaking good, man. Whereas like, paintball, there's the standard, the winning standard, if I'm using air quotes there, but it's for the teams like Dynasty, in the early days, who were like, yeah, we just won every event for like 5 years, we just won everything. Like the ones we didn't win, it's because we didn't show up. And like that set such a high kind of bar for people to be like, okay, if we want to be like one of the greats, we got to do something like that, which I feel like is just not feasible in today's tournament paintball, just because the skill level has also come up.
Right.
I agree. You got to be a Titan to beat a Titan, You can't just expect them to roll over. You
just drop some anime in here, and I love that, Hutch.
I didn't think of it until you said that now. And now I'm like, damn, Attack on Titan. What's up, Keith? All right, be honest. What's up? You dabble in Attack on Titan? You ever heard of it?
I know what it is. I haven't watched it now.
Okay.
The last TV show where I watched was The Boys, so.
Okay.
The Boys?
The Boys is crazy.
My friend is telling me
man,
all day. Go watch that one.
Man, dude, I promise you'll love The Boys. It's the truth.
Yeah, no, it's a dope show. I watched the first season. I haven't seen the latest one, so
man,
I'm holding off.
But yeah, wait till you watch the rest. You're gonna be like, this is just nutty.
Yeah, they did some like crazy visual effects, which was the reason I got into it. And then the story is just, it's absolutely insane. So I'm excited to go on that ride one of these days.
Right.
I'm definitely gonna check that one out for sure. The Boys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hard cut to like in 3 weeks on the podcast. We're like, guys, have you fucking ever heard of The Boys? Like, this is such a great show. Like,
That's how I got going into it. My boy was like that, and I was like, I guess I'll watch it. And I watched the whole season within like a couple weeks.
It hooks you in the first, like, what is it, minute, 30 seconds? With that.
That's right.
In
the beginning. So yeah.
So Brando, you've experienced The Boys, Brando.
A little bit. Yeah. I haven't finished the first full season, but when I saw it, I was like, whoa. All right, yeah. Let me watch a couple.
I'm behind. Okay, I gotta check that out.
Well, yeah. So okay. I mean, stepping back into it, as you'll start to see, it's like I'm good cop, or I guess bad cop. Hatch is good cop over there. He's gonna bring in the randomness. I'll pull us back into paintball conversation. But we started talking about the Impact series there, but that's not the beginning of your career. You were a paintball player before that, and I don't know how many people know that story. I personally don't. So I just was interested, like what was a little bit of that kind of your introduction into the game before you even got to that point?
So the start was just, I got the paintball gun for Christmas. So did like a bunch of friends in the neighborhood type of deal. So we literally went out, I think it was like the next day, a couple weeks in, everyone's about it, and then they start to drop off. But I went out to that's just kind of how it goes, man. They just start to drop off. So I just started playing on my own, kind of, and my dad would take me to started at like a field called Epic, and we just had dirt fields. But
Mhm.
It was what it was, but there were good players there. That was the other thing, though. There were already good players already there. So like me learning, the learning curve was just almost automatic. I went from young guns to D2. You know, like I went from playing
Damn,
against
that's a pretty
kids.
big jump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
playing against kids into like straight up ECE back in the day, which was East Coast Empire. They were
Yeah.
nasty. So like it just that's that's kind of my start, and it just I wouldn't stop after it. Just paintball is
It's
very
that
very
bug that
addicting,
bites
man.
you. Yeah, there's something about this sport, and it's funny because the amount of times you ask someone how they start, the story will always trail off, and it will always end with, "And I'm still here." Like, and for some reason I keep coming back. Like, my wallet hates it, and
Friends that'll go away for 10 years and they'll be right back with a brand new TM40 in their hands, dude. Just like you just got to hear. He's like, yeah, I made a bunch of money now, so
Yeah.
I got a bunch of money to spend. That's
people money.
That's
Yeah.
right.
my wife's asking me to get out of the house, so I gotta do something.
I came back out to the field.
Well, hell yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so
It's
yeah,
wild.
it was kind of the rogue ball kind of dirt fields, the background of the game back. I mean, what year was this? Do you kind of remember?
2005 was like my first years, and I went to that World Cup where Oliver was just running through on people, and it was probably the biggest moment of paintball. And
Wow.
you know what I mean? Like, in my eyes, I was on the damn show watching it. It was nutty. But
Nice.
that's what sold me, dude. I was like, I'm sold. Never tried anything. I don't know. I can't say that I wouldn't think that I would have gotten to like the pro level, but I just didn't think it would ever really bring this to me. Like I've made so much out of it between travels. You want to call the money, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I've made great life out of my career that I've already had, and I'm not done yet. That's
I mean, one of my favorite quotes from Maddie is the gifts of the game. It's not necessarily monetary. It's not gonna make you a six-figure guy. It's not gonna help you out with stuff like that. But you're gonna experience some things that, I mean, maybe only a handful of people ever will get to, and that's something special too.
And one thing I just want to bring, just because I know it's just fresh in my head now that you say that, it's like I've been to Kiev, Ukraine, and like it's not there anymore. And like that's some stuff that like I think about now, and I'm like, dude, like
how much more is gonna change over time?
You know what I mean? Like,
it may sound
like,
well, yeah, and it may sound crazy to the average person, but the reason you were there was to play a game where you shoot gelatinous balls at other people, and that's why you were in Ukraine. That's why this game is so special, because it's massively global in that aspect. And that was a great story. I mean, it kind of blows my mind when you think about that. Like, other guys who have to explain like why I'm traveling.
I'm like, oh, dude.
Holy shit, dude. I go on Reddit.
And so one of the other things I was pulling there from your story is, so you said 2005, that's your first year.
Yeah.
Man, you've been playing this game for 18 years. Like, you've gone from being a legit, like, you could be a child to being a legal adult in that time. Like, you've dedicated so much of your life to this game, so that, that's, to me, that kind of says that's why you're receiving the things you're getting. Everyone always talks about, like, the people who are, figures of the game. Like, at this point, Maddie and Rich have literally dedicated their whole adult lives to this game. So, if anyone should be receiving some benefit, I would hope those guys would, just for the pure, time of their lives they've spent on it.
True pioneers, of the game.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And plus, it's like they've been in the game for so long, like seeing the old videos of like Matty Marshall in Heroes for a Day and stuff like that. Now seeing him, the guy's way older, dude. It honestly gets to the point to where it's like nostalgic almost, seeing the transition. Watching this old paintball stuff, and it's like, man, obviously I joined the game way later, like in 2014, like 2013, 2014. But even thinking about times back then, way different now. Like PPL was a thing, and now the only real leagues there are, like we have like the regional leagues, and then the national is just the NXL.
Right.
So
Right.
we had PSP in PPL, you know.
There's a lot of paintball being played back then. That's for damn sure.
Crazy,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, even as from like the media perspective of it, like I would love that too. Like having more opportunities where I could watch the top level guys like go out there and do shit. Cause I mean, I love going out to, you know, the field every weekend and grabbing, you know, footage of everyone who's there. But like, it's different when you're watching the top 20 dudes who want to win this match and are going out there and giving it everything. Like, it's just a different level of footage. It's a different level of heart, emotion. And it's, you know, that it's nothing but exciting to be playing more tournament level at that level, or tournament paintball at that level.
In the finals, you know, it's like there's two teams. There has to be a winner and a loser. There has to be triumph and there has to be heartbreak. So you know that the emotion, the battle that's going on in that finals match is just real for everybody that's in it, especially at the high level. They want to be there. They spend so much time, so much money to be there.
Right.
They want to. Oh, damn! I spent a lot of money on this shit.
That's
why, yeah.
So true, man.
It's I'm trying not to think about that. But yeah, so I mean, jumping back into kind of your little bit of your history. I mean, we were talking about the impact side there. So, you know, like you said, about 5 years ago, you moved back to Damage. So, you know, what was that transition like? You know, you're kind of coming back home, quote unquote, if you want to say.
So yeah, coming back was it was you know it almost happened every year almost at one point. You know, there's always that want to go back to, you know, those are all my boys, dude. You know, since the beginning, they kind of raised me up and taught me how to win. And, you know, not that like winning on Impact taught me everything I needed to know about paintball, though. Mm-hmm. Like, as far as I'm concerned, like, I was like, all right, now I kind of know what I need to do and how I need to go about things and what we need to do as a team to be able to win these events consistently.
You went from being like a bachelor's level paintball player to getting your masterate, and then you're like coming back, and now,
graduated me up. You know what I mean? It definitely graduated me up.
Put the practice and damage, you know.
Right. So I mean, but it was tough coming back because there were so many different things that obviously happened in 4 years. You know, between having a different coach and Joey wasn't there, and you know, some of the guys weren't quite as motivated as they are right now. You know, like right now, dude, everyone's locked in. It's like completely different. But like when I first showed up, it was like, because they weren't winning at the time, it was like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, we like playing paintball, but it's like, man, this isn't
fun anymore.
What I'm used to, you know, like they're always used to winning. So like when they had those couple bad years, they were like, dude, like what? This is kind of like,
yeah. No, I mean,
is like
that's
yeah. So go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say that's a great point for like players who are new into the game. Like Damage was, you know, one of those kind of succeeding, winning franchises that you would see on the top of the podium, you know, maybe once or twice a year, depending on how good it was. And they did kind of have this fall from grace in the middle of the 2000s era. So, yeah, I mean, and it kind of makes sense. You know, you get to a point where you're not seeing the results, and so you kind of become lazy, and that in turn makes the results worse, which then in turn kind of gives you less motivation, and it kind of is that vicious cycle that pulls you away from it. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like you were, you know, at least part of like a spark plug to kind of get that, you know, picked back up a little bit, or, you know, kind of help change, you know, as Jordan would talk about, you know, like a winning mentality, like a winning culture. You got to even have that before you can even win.
Yep, and I think that's one of the things that we kind of did was we kind of changed the culture a little bit. When I came back, we picked up a guy, Chris Horn here, who is just a hard worker. You know what I mean? Like that changes everything. When you got a guy who's not leaving the field until they make him leave the field, you know what I mean? Like it makes everybody else. And maybe you don't have to do that, but it makes you have to, you know, raise your level of play. You know, during those points in practice, let's not just slack off or whatever. Let's just finish it out strong, and like stuff like that. Really, because
you look over at Chris every point, and it doesn't matter beginning of the day, end of the day, 100. Middle of the day. He's going 100. Yeah, exactly. Like so, you're like, God, this guy's gonna make me look bad. Fuck. All right, now I gotta try.
How can you not look at a guy and give a guy like that credit? You know,
right.
They're just working so hard. You're gonna see it sooner or later. That I convey is hard work. And whenever I see people where they're like, the talk oh yeah, grinding every weekend. It's like
I know, dude.
I'm at the paintball field every weekend. You know, it's like we know when you're there. We know when you're really
Yeah.
there, right?
Like you can't fool me. I'm not there not enough weekends, so it could be like, oh damn, maybe he showed up. No, I'm
That's
there
a
every
good
weekend.
point.
It's like,
So
I know,
I'll see it.
Yeah, around the paintball, around like Capital Edge and stuff like that. It's like I know if you're there.
We know how that is, man. We know how that is.
Especially when a fellow grinder recognizes it, right? Game recognizes game.
Absolutely.
That's when you start becoming more associated with that person. You start teaching them a little bit more. You get that more one-on-one interaction. And one thing that I wanted to ask you, Keith, which you have such a unique style of explosive play. When it comes, because that stuff's kind of hard to teach. How do you break it down for people that obviously aren't a Keith Brown? How do you break it down when it comes to instinct in the game?
So like the way that I really do teach is more or less of, I like to like make it at your own pace, because if you notice, like, yeah, I can run super fast at corner or whatever, right? But I may not always start there. And that's based on like how I view the game, and I feel like I can dictate my pace based on gunfighting, communication, whatever it is, because all of that comes in the account. You know what I mean? Because communication is definitely part of it. If I don't have the guy behind me doing what I need him to do, or him, asking me what I need, then I'm not going to be able to, produce. So like what I try to do is like teach those guys, how to really. It's not about running to the snake on the break, dude. I want to see you do that one time, but after that, I practice, dude. Like, it's all about how do I make my way in there the hard way. Like, I'm trying to teach, like, okay, now you want to learn the hard way. You want to do the hard work, and that's one thing Dave always used to say: is you want to do the hard work, dude. He's like, when you get in the snake, you want to crawl it. You don't stand up and run through. Like, it's just like stuff like that is like what I try to teach is like you take it at your own pace, and then you'll be able to grow from that.
Okay, I like that, because I try to teach some of, there's like the DMG kids or whatever out there, and some of them, they ask me like what to do in certain situations, and sometimes I'm just like, man, I don't know, I'm a crazy motherfucker. Sometimes I run through that shit, so
right.
It's a little hard to teach.
Sometimes, yeah, you're like, okay, you can't do that.
Teach instinct.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, well, it's like you can't teach Spidey senses. Like, yeah.
It's like, I feel him shooting high, so fuck it, I'm sending it low.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's a good point too. Is like those are the kind of intangibles that you just unfortunately you got to be in a bunker and you got to feel what paint going high is, so then when you can go low, and like you just got to play paintball to pick up that stuff. But I do like the aspects you're saying of how, breaking it down into like what helps that aggression, communication, information, like, learning the, the hard movements, the stuff that, learning the parts of the layout that you're like, I hope I'm never out here, but I'm going to come out here and practice. That way, if I am ever out here, I know at least how to get safe, or, maybe if I can even have like a risky ghost or something, if we know some shit's going on. So yeah, there's so many different levels to the game. So and it was funny you were talking about there, your two specifically. I would love to play paintball in front of most pro level 2s, because it makes the game so much easier. Like when you hear like kind of this calm voice that's giving you info constantly, and is there ready to help you out if someone's coming or some shit. Like, wow, it is such an undervalued position in paintball, I would say, is the two.
I think I saw it on like a Facebook post or something where it was a special shout out to all the 2s, because the ones take all the credit.
Yeah, absolutely. Valid. That is valid.
Meanwhile, 3's in the back just eating up.
Dude, unless you're J-Round.
That's true.
Unless you're
That's true. There you go.
Everyone knows, you know what I mean? Everyone knows that he's frying people from the back. So
for sure, J-Round just built different, dude.
That's right.
So, I don't know if this is true or not. I heard this may be a rumor, but Keith, you played on Impact with him. I heard the motherfucker has like something wrong with his eyes or something, like a differently shaped eye, to where that's how he can see the field differently. I don't know if that's a fucking rumor or not. That's what I heard like way back in the day.
That's not true.
I feel like you're getting punked, bro.
Dude, legitimately, that could be a legitimate thing.
He would be so mad. He'd be like, "My fucking eye ain't nothing wrong." dude.
Yeah, it's actually probably a good thing you didn't ask J-Rab that question.
You know, it's very true.
Because he would have been like, there's nothing wrong with my eye.
Dude, I heard he had like a condition where he had like supervision, and I'm like, damn, dude, it's like 1 in like 50,000 people have it, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, the guy's fucking literally assembled.
Dude, you fell for a YouTube troll comment, essentially.
But he was still be like, dude, they have normal eyes, dude, they got normal eyes.
Well, dude, now I know. Now I just like, sadly, you know, we're on
That's
camera now,
right.
so I just embarrassed myself, but it's okay. Like, oh, dude,
Hey,
dude, like,
next
holy
time you're
fuck, you got
eating
fucked up eyes.
Next time you're pitting for Impact, you gotta head over there and see if you can go ask J-Rab that question. Brando, I'll
when he
need you
plays for
behind him with the
Diesel.
camera, because you'll
He's
be the
on
silent
Diesel.
cameraman.
Yeah, he's on Diesel now, bro.
No, but that's what I mean. That's why you'll be in the pits, because
Oh, yeah,
you're a
yeah.
semi-pro player. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, you'll be over there
I
helping
didn't know.
out, and then you can go ask him that question.
One day. That's why we
Yeah.
tried.
I'll bring my little examining tool from one of my eye doctors. Give it to you so you can go look at his eyes real quick.
Oh,
I got you.
Yeah, we have actual surgical technician tools like in the building. Like, is he good? Is his eye left? Dude, he would kick us out.
I gotta put on like a Ghost Sports shirt and be like, dude, it's for the interview, dude. This documentary's gonna be sick.
bro.
You know? And he'd be like, okay. And he's like, let me see your eye really quick. And we're just like super close on his eye. He's like, this is a weird interview, bro.
This is different.
This is different. He's like, they're getting it close.
We're
Damn, bro.
conducting tests for now.
All right. Well, so okay. The next thing I had going, trying to transitioning through the years. So like you were saying, Damage was kind of at that low part when you were kind of coming back. And I don't want to say low, but kind of maybe not as the peak high that they were trying to be. And you came back in. I wanted to ask, what was it that you think has changed over those course of years that bring Damage kind of back up into that? Okay, they are a late Sunday team. Like we're not expecting to see them, but it's like, hey, if we see them in the semifinals, it's not at all a weird thing. If we see them in the finals, they have a very real chance to win it. Hell, it comes down to a one-on-one overtime. Jacob's going to go out there and win it. Like, and he's done that twice now within a year, which is crazy. So it's, you guys are really in the conversation. You're at the table. So I guess from your perspective, what has been the changes from when you started with them to now?
I think we needed to learn how to regel. That was one thing. When I came back, it wasn't an instant. Like I played bad when I came back, so that that didn't help.
Gotcha.
And you know what I mean? Like you get fried, and you're just like,
I'm sorry, guys. Like shit.
For sure. When you get the new guy on the team and
you did anything, yeah, exactly. So
Meanwhile, they're like,
it was
didn't you
kinda
just
like
win
that.
like 7 events in a row? Like what?
Yeah.
Like first event back, like I played Vegas, it's trash. You know what I mean? Like just trash. And but I picked it up throughout the year. But also that came from getting Joey. I always give Joey a lot of credit. People have they don't like Joey, but Joey works for me. So Joey's my boy, dude. And
I like his style.
that's what I mean. And then nobody keeps it real, and that'll make you better. As if, dude, he's not beating around the bush. He's like, you messed up here. Like, that's where we lost. And it's like, okay. And that's how we fix things.
Yeah,
That's a good point, because there was a time, Ryan, this last weekend,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
I was
we were
like,
talking about
I was
this.
like,
Yeah,
I was like, Ryan, am I too intense, bro? Like, am I just like being a fucking asshole? And he sat down and basically told me, there's a fine line between, just yelling to the point to where they disconnect and they don't hear what you're saying. They're just like, I don't want to hear this guy yelling.
Right.
So I'm trying to find that line, because obviously, how do I say it?
and well, so to kind of help you out with that point, like it's not even so the yelling. It's like because guys like Patch, dude, it's passion. Like, goddamn, this dude loves the game of paintball, and so when he's out there playing it, he's fucking hyped up. So when that comes out, is like, bro, why did you fucking mess up? Like, come on, man. Like, I'm trying to make this. Like, to you, you're just amped up, because the game's going on and all that shit. Whereas then your teammate hears that and they're like, fuck that dude. I do not care what he has to say, because that's the first thing they're hearing. It's just instantly hitting you like this aggressive nature. And, that's kind of what I was trying to say is like, for you, it's a good thing because you're being passionate. For the other person, it's a bad thing because they're like, oh, like, why are you getting mad at me, bro? I fucked up. My bad. Like, they don't even have the time to say these things.
You already know there's a time and a place, and there's a way of going about it, and there's a certain words that you can say to certain people.
For
You know
That's a
what I
good
mean?
point
So
too, because
you
everyone's
can
different.
literally say whatever, bro. Like you can literally cuss them out. You can tell them they're garbage, and they'll pick it up the next point. You can tell
Yep.
the next person that, and dude, they'll just
Might not be the
shut.
same.
Yeah, he'll shut you down. He won't talk to you anymore. He's gonna go out there and get blasted in the face in the first gunfire. Like there's definitely
Yeah.
different ways of going about it. So I hear you on that. I hear you on that. You can't not be you though. So
For sure.
Yeah, because it's like it's that
That's one
awkward. It's
thing.
that awkward line where it's like you're striving for perfection, but obviously that's unrealistic.
yeah, but
You always want to try to make the point more and more crispy, but you know, it just can't. That always can't be a thing.
you say it can't be, but it can be, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's how I look at it, and that'll take you a long way, bro. I'm telling you.
Sweet.
Just no. You know what I mean? Like it's not perfect until I feel like it's perfect.
That's what I'm saying. Because sometimes I'm like, you know, we did good. We won the point, but I feel like we could have slowed it down and made sure like we didn't lose an unnecessary body, stuff like that.
That's stuff that definitely can be talked about all the time, in my opinion. And it should be. You should be like, dude, no. Like, yeah, we won, but homeboy was stupid. Like that's not my fault.
Yeah.
Well,
it hurts them. It hurts the team if I don't say it.
Exactly. And I think it's a great way because, I mean, Keith, you've been playing in the pro side for a long time, but like, I mean, Hatch, you jumped up from D3 last year. Now you're playing semi-pro. And so, you know, for you guys, you're trying to learn not just the like how to win paintball, you're trying to learn the like how to win high level, like has to be somewhat perfect paintball because
it does.
I mean,
it does.
You know, so now the two big guys in your division, Blast Camp, Fit, like they're
Those guys are just next level.
They just,
it's
you
like
know,
semi-pro, and then there's Blast and Fit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They've raised that level.
Yeah,
so like,
right.
if you guys even want to compete, well, you can't be doing, you know, like sloppy mistakes, like sending an extra body or some shit. Like it's, you know, those little things have to be adjusted from the start to even start to then catch up and then eventually, you know, maybe overcome or, show that you were able to progress and become better.
It's like I feel like a single mistake sometimes can really turn say if you're in a 5-on-2 and they shoot one guy, then he makes a move, sneaks into the snake, shoots another guy. Then it's just a clusterfuck of unfortunate events.
Yeah, this point that should have been in the bag is now no longer in the bag.
And you can literally win that point, and just because of what happened can trickle down later and be something way worse.
Exactly.
So yes, you're definitely right about that. I've seen it happen, dude. I coached a couple weeks ago at the MVPS, dude. We won the match, but in the very first match, this guy on the other team somehow runs on the drill side in a 5-on-3 and shoots 4 of us.
Jesus.
And like it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, maybe he cheated by the time he got to like the third person. But I'm like, there's no way he should have even gotten that far.
Yeah.
And these are the ones that I literally told my team. And then the same things happened later though. That was the thing. It like literally happened again. Like the same things. We were like up on bodies and this guy just decided I'm just gonna run down the Dorito side.
Cheat codes.
And dude,
AW kid, man.
And he would dump them bad, and I'm like, all right. I'm like there's some kind of disconnect here. Like we gotta communicate. Like
I feel like even though that kid lost the game, he fucking won in his head, man. He won. He was the winner.
I told them that too. I said that word for word too. I said that kid's going away up in his chest.
He's so happy.
He lost 0-3. And he is hype. He is hype. He was got a full time on a run through, bro. Like that feels good. I don't care if you lose or not, bro.
I feel bad for the next teams he's playing. You know, he's
that's right. He's like, that was his first game. It was like 7 in the morning, bro. He was chilling. He's like, you know what?
So it's a double-edged sword because he's either gonna go out and have like the supreme level of confidence the rest of the day, or he's gonna go out and just have false confidence and just get shit on all day. So it's one or the other. I feel like you're gonna get a polar opposite type situation.
So it just turned into just a triple effect of the same issues, and I was like, okay, I don't know where to go here, but we got to fix that. So I got to work with them on that.
Little mistakes do start to add up.
What team were you coaching?
Heat Wave. They play D4 here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shout out to E-Wave
they do
people, bro.
pretty well, man. They just we just make some mistakes in the end, and it costs us. And
Ain't
I
that
don't
the story?
want to see him get shot like that, though.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why, when they get shot up like that, I'm like, oh no, these guys are burning you in the back, dude. That's not cool.
You never want to see your boys take it in the back. You know?
You don't want to see your guys get burned in the back, dude. You're like, no.
Especially when you see the guy coming,
No
it's like,
back
you know,
shots.
it's like, yikes. It's like,
Oh,
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 I gotta peek through the fingers,
It's
you
the
know?
like car crash you see
Man,
coming.
dude.
You're like, no.
I have to
Oh,
watch.
man. Yeah, I have to. He is just giving it to us, just 6, 7, 8. Every other guy, I'm like,
So many hatches out there just dropping the hammer.
Whoa.
Well, so Keith, if you don't know, Hatch has been in paintball jail. Is it 2 times or is it only one time,
yeah.
Hatch?
I guess,
Twice?
it's like 1.5. It's like 1.5
Okay.
for putting people away?
for one of them was
For
so the one I actually went to
overshooting.
paintball jail. The one I actually went to paintball jail for wasn't even overshooting. It's like, okay, Keith, you play with the guy, Jacob Edwards. When the guy runs down a guy, fucks him up, gives him the good old stare down, basically did that, and I got a gross major for it.
Yeah,
What division were you playing?
D3. What is that bullshit? Come on.
Openly taunting in D3.
But wait, how far were you away from him when you were giving them the stare down?
I bunkered him, so obviously I'm close.
You were looking
on
down
top
on
of
him,
him.
over the top.
I gave him like
Look,
one to like the vents.
I
you
don't
know?
agree you should have gotten paintball jail, but at the same time, it's one of those moments it's
Yeah.
hard to defend you. It's like, bro, if you
I'll-
saw
I'll
that
give you that
looked
one. I'll
like
give you that one.
Yeah,
They
you
probably-
probably dunked pretty
They
bad.
probably had like a red check mark over my name because the point before that, I just fucking fried a guy in the middle. He was just looking the other way, and I just
see
fucked
that
him up.
context
Yeah.
hurts worse too. Yeah.
Well, no, he wouldn't move. The guy wouldn't move. You know, sometimes, dude, it happens in pro all the time. They're like, I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna slow the game down. Let me get out a little slower. I'll take the extra pain. Fuck it. So I'll take
Yep.
a couple extra for my boys.
My favorite is the dudes
Yeah,
doing
that's-
that and then complaining about it. I always love
Yeah,
that.
that's true too. That happens.
It is what it is, bro. When 5 people are shooting 10.5, sometimes you get right in that sweet spot where
Then
everybody
get off the field. Like that's my thing. Like, bro, if you're gonna stand there in your bunker, just
Just get
and
out.
then like, whoa,
Yeah.
why are you shooting me, bro? Like, dude, then just leave the playing field. You're out.
I try
Yeah,
to jog.
bro.
I try to jog off fast. I'm like, I'm not trying to get blasted too hard, dude. So
Yeah, I know
just-
better.
I'm hiding.
Yeah, Keith, I know better. Because
I know
you
better.
play with one. I mean, I love Rain Man, but yeah, he can give it out every now and then, just depending on the right moment.
Definitely, absolutely.
But I will say
absolutely.
this: I feel like Rainey does it as part of his mental game that he plays. Because I feel
Yeah,
Without a
he does
doubt,
it for him too.
for sure.
that's true. Yeah.
He does it for him
Like, look
too.
what he did against DMG. He got like when he shot Dylan Boyum right in
Yeah.
the face, got him to talk, got a minor. Like it's a
That
legitimate
was
thing.
that was actually a great moment I had on camera for the Rebirth series. It's like right in there, but literally, yeah, like Debo's dead, so can't talk, and the whole time Rainey's just talking shit, and eventually Dylan, you know,
Just one
Dylan,
word.
he's gonna say something, and he's like, "Are you gonna fucking let him do that?" And then the ref yellow flag, and it's
Like,
like
yeah,
Rainey
I
got
am
what he
gonna let him do
wanted.
that.
Like, yeah, so it's you know, that's a different level to play paintball. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got a nasty shot and he knows what he's doing out there, but that's also, kind of the way he's coming to the table. He's trying to get in your head. He's trying to make you, get off your kilter before you're even on the box.
Dude,
Yep,
I
it's a
actually have a
little
funny
bit
story
mental.
about Rainey. I have a funny story about Rainey. So when I first got into paintball, right, this is like, I think my second event ever. It was like 2014. Rainey, I don't know who the fuck he was playing for at the time, probably Impact. I'm obviously with my mom, right? I'm like, hey mom, look at the new shit over there. I'll take that t-shirt, right?
Shout
and she's
out,
like,
Mom,
sure,
man.
let's go get it. Yep, shout out to the mom. And my mom drops like $100 bill out of her pocket, and Rainey comes up and he's like, you dropped this. He could have been a scumbag, but shout out to Rainey, dude.
Yeah,
all right,
that's
all
good
right.
man.
Good guy credit
Good
right
man.
there.
So that's a little thing where I'm like, I like Rainey. No matter
Good
what he
man.
does, there's always that moment that I can always
He's
say
a truthful
Rainey's
man.
credible for. So
It's usually the guys who like being deceptive are usually the most true. Like, he plays poker. He deceives people over there.
True that.
yeah,
True
very
that.
That's
True
where he gets
that.
out of his system.
That was good karma for him, dude. That's how he won a couple more bucks,
true.
That $100 was nothing compared to what he probably won, given that back.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We have like a thing on our team where Damn it, what were we doing? It's like we bet, Brando. You know what I'm talking about?
Did you just bring up a topic and then not know where to go with it?
I lost my train of thought. You know me, bro. The goldfish brain.
Yeah, that happens.
Damn it.
Someone, one of our comments, Keith, called him a squirrel with a shiny object trying to tell a story.
Mhm.
Literally is me. That's the hard part, bro.
Just look at his eyes and you'll see it's true. So
it's like what I thought J-Rap had wrong with his eyes, I have wrong with my fucking brain. So
Jesus, man. All right.
So
hey, we still love you, Hatch. It's okay.
That's funny.
I truly thought J-Rap was assembled differently.
Well, speaking of I don't know, I was trying to make some transition, but getting into the digital side of paintball, I wanted to talk about, kind of the stuff going on with Infinite Paintball. I mean, obviously you've been jumping into that plane a little bit. Just what's your perspective on it? Like, everyone's probably heard ours. We've talked about it a couple times on the show, but like, you're a pro guy, who has a little bit higher level experience. You've been playing paintball for a long time. What's your take on the game?
Well, I think he's doing a really, really good job. I mean, it's only one guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ethan,
Yep.
working on it. So he's doing an incredible job. The game is very fun. He just did that update. The improvements that he's done so far are great.
Yeah.
I'm just, it's just we need more people on it, man. People need to really recognize like how good it actually is. So I'm excited to see where it's gonna go from here.
Yeah, man. Did you ever play like DPB back in the day or anything like that? Like the old versions? Okay, so you little familiar with like digital paintball
I'm
type
familiar
stuff.
with all the paintball games.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say your favorite one was like back in the day?
Probably be. I mean, I played DPB was good, but I didn't have a computer like really at that time. I had like Xbox. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
you were an Xbox guy growing up. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then out of nowhere, like my Xbox fried, and then I was a PC guy for a couple of years, and then But I just had a good PC. I just had some dog shit. Like. That was
I recently upgraded. That was
it got the job done at least.
Yeah, but I would say I don't know. My favorite game would probably be Greg Hastings, probably Max.
Okay, Max was a lot of fun. There's a lot of familiar faces in it.
You make your own fields, dude. Fire.
Yeah,
really?
Was there?
They had a leaderboard on there for the longest time, and I was top 10 or something. It was fun. The game was fun.
It's the competition, man. I was gonna ask because I think like I've heard there was like a pretty big like Xbox Live scene for the game back in the day and stuff like that. Yeah. So was online play like something you guys would jump into?
It was huge. It was game battles and
okay, so we had GBs going. All right.
Yeah, no, that was legit. Like there was over like 100 competitive players. You know what I mean on game battles on that were like active.
Okay.
So that game was fun, and then it was pretty well made, and I think it gave you everything you kind of needed, at that time. But now with Infinite, I mean, this is just taking it to the next level.
Yeah, it's kind of refining that. Mm-hmm.
I definitely I agree with you, Ryan. Refining the whole online aspect of probably. You probably couldn't get anywhere near as smooth as it is now, right? Like probably back then on like an Xbox, right? Now I feel like everything, the ping's pretty good, really smooth.
Yeah, like Netscape for the game and stuff. That always gets easier, just as internet gets better every year, connections get better. Stuff like that always helps out. I just I'm impressed with the fact, dude, it's just one dude. Like that's the thing that always stands out to me. Because like Greg Hastings Max was like my guess was probably made by a team of like 30 to 50 people. And then there was probably some more people on the publisher side who helped out. So when you compare like the amount of man hours they had to compare like to what he's had to create something that's obviously not the same, but similar, it's
very similar.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, it's awesome even to see the update. Like you mentioned, Keith, like added in the buzzer system, added in, some new cosmetics, a new player model, all that type of stuff. Like, the little kind of icing on top is starting to get added into it. And it's a lot of fun. People need to jump in.
You know what my favorite icing is, Ryan?
What's your favorite icing?
Dude, is when you're like shooting and you're like walking away from someone, you can hear the faintness of like the paintball marker going away.
I like
Yeah,
that, the new
he's
update.
That's a cool little detail, you know. As a guy who plays Red Dead, I like the details, you know.
You could bonus ball people now. It's great, man.
That does feel fun. You just keep getting the hit markers.
Like, Gosh darn it, dude! And I'm just unloading on that guy.
Yeah.
That's a good time, man.
Yeah, the new animation's fun. Something I teased earlier on in the show, and I guess we'll explain that now. In the Infinite like paintball universe, there's the IXL, which is kind of a kind of competitive scene for it a little bit. I say kind of because everything's just like up in the air and thrown together. So I don't know. It's one of those things. We'll see what happens with it. But what ended up happening was Keith and I guess names people would know, Ronnie and like a couple other of your guys' friends from, you know, your own gaming Discord were trying to get a team in the league, and they were gonna like shut you guys out, or I think there was like too late of an entry deadline or something. And so essentially, since I already had one, like I didn't have a roster, but I had a registered slot, I was like, so you guys just want to play on from the sidelines? So yeah, you guys jumped on. You guys have absolutely been killing it. Shout out to Brick, shout out to Jovi, shout out to all the guys over there who are just, I mean, not losing a game ever. I don't think we haven't lost a map in a best of 3 yet.
Nope. They just started doing best of 5 now, which is pretty cool too.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
So now, yeah, okay. That'll be more impressive when we win those in best of 3 numbers.
Right. So now they're like actually starting to count them. They've restarted the season because it was getting out of control.
They've restarted it like 3 times, I want to say now, and every single time it's been us at the top with a number in the win column and a 0 in the loss column.
They got like there's I can probably see. Oh, there's 2 refs. There's 2 refs in there right now. You know, like these guys are serious.
They're plotting against us, man.
They're no joke, man.
That's
I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun. The one thing I feel bad because we do beat up on people so bad, but they you know, it's just a lot of fun, man. Like, don't get too upset. Like, you know, you gotta play us because we're part of the league.
It is what it is, dude. You're just dominating right now.
You guys just so happen to have good mouse and keyboard skills and good paintball IQ.
Yeah,
so what? You know,
right.
like,
yeah. So like, we're gonna help you. You're gonna get better.
And
by getting beat up a little bit.
You probably know this. There's probably a lot of pros that you could put on a keyboard and mouse, and they would go into it and be okay, but not be as good as like, you know, you or Ronnie or, you know, some of the other guys over there. Just because, like, I don't know, like, I think it's out known out there. You're a COD gamer. You know, you've been on the sticks for other things as well. But yeah, so it is kind of interesting. There's that mix of both, not only having the understanding of paintball and how that works and, you know, where people would go and all that stuff, but then also the like, well, I know how to move and use this really well. So that helps.
Right.
Hell yeah. Dude. Valorant definitely helps, dude.
Yeah, you're on the Val.
Yeah,
you're on the Val.
What you know about that, Key? What's up?
See, like, listen. I used to play a lot of Val, and then I didn't play for an entire year. Okay. And then last year I come back from Dallas, and I'm like, man, some new stuff came out. Let me go see what's up.
Yep. I
click into my account, load in. You've been banned permanently.
What?
What?
I did not expect that.
Yo.
What?
I was expecting like, okay.
So what happened? My main account got hacked by some dude, and then I looked it up on the tracker, and he was just going crazy.
What a guy, bro.
So
Swaggy K22 was in Immortal Lobbies just dropping 31 bombs on people. Like,
spin botting these kids. God
dude,
damn.
Damn, dude, keep going crazy, bro.
So I'm trying to get my account back twice now, and they were like, no, it was you, and I'm like, dude, can you look at the IP, because obviously it wasn't me.
Because like I live in America, so an Indian IP should not match up. Like,
it's just somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, like this guy's using Swaggy K. He was using my name.
Yeah.
Does Riot think that you like took a boat to like the middle of the Tunisian sea to like go like grind some, you know, Val lobbies or some shit?
I have no idea, dude.
Easy, bro. The Tunisian server.
So funny you mentioned Jovi. Joey is a Valorant coach for Evil Geniuses.
For
That's what
the
I heard.
Challengers team, correct?
I'm not sure. I
Okay.
know they have the girl is coaching right now, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I think that's, or Game Changers, I think that's what it's called. Riot has
Okay.
some funky
There's
name
like
for
two
it, but yeah.
different or something.
Yeah,
Okay,
something like that. But yeah, so essentially, yeah, I mean, that's kind of dope. Like,
Yeah,
to
so
me,
I have him on the case stuff. He's trying to get
oh,
my
okay.
account
Yeah,
back.
because he would actually have like someone at Riot who he could talk
That's
to.
right. That's
All right,
right.
yeah, that'll be good.
Got
Yeah,
the
so
edge.
I'm trying to come back, dude. I missed the game, dude. It's so much fun. It's just
So
a
it's like you
good
got
game.
Smurf? You got a Smurf?
I mean, I have a bunch, but
damn,
but, like,
bunch?
We don't mention
Dude,
the
I-
names because we don't
dude,
want
you
Riot
gotta
to come out of the
understand,
woodwork.
You go and start playing with your friends, and then you just notice that it ain't gonna happen this way. And
Very
then
true.
And then you
just
get
gotta make a
AK'd.
new account.
All of a sudden you're
Yeah,
an
you-
iron. And
Dude,
Yeah.
Ryan knows my story about that, dude. I have I have one other friend, Logan, and me and him out of our entire friend group are just different breeds of
Right.
Valorant players.
Mike is
And,
up there too, but
nasty.
yeah, you guys are the top two, I would say.
So now we gotta carry our friends that are kind of duty Asperg. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,
Shout out
That
one of
happens.
the original hosts of the show, Austin, but AK, he's just hard stuck bronze. I don't
Oh
think he'll
my
ever get
God.
better. It's just watching
why'd you
his
say it like that,
gameplay.
Keith? Why'd you say it like that? Oh my god!
It's bad.
Oh god!
Oh, I can't wait to clip that and send that to him. That's gonna be amazing. But But yeah, bro. So, all right, where would you put your rank then? You know, for all those gamers out there, what would you say you are? You know, you silver gamer, you
I mean,
gold, you
I-
getting into mortal, or
No. I was diamond like every. So
Okay.
what kept happening? I was like literally like 4 or 5 Smurf accounts. What happened is we get to my normal almost rank every single time, and my friends would stay around plat 1 or you know what I mean. So I would just make another one.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's
And then
crazy.
try to, like, yeah.
None of those accounts are fucking hacked. Why did you hack my name with my big server?
yeah, that's the worst one. Yeah, with the only name you care about, you're like, you didn't take the one. That's yeah.
Oh my god, dude. That's
You
how
always
my
see you in
account
your friends' lobbies just dominating. They're like, that's fine.
dominated.
That's fine.
Like, oh, you can have that one.
good.
Yeah, you can have that one.
This guy just gifted gamer.
Man.
Gifted gamer.
I want it back, dude. I want to play again. That game is so much fun. I just don't see myself like every time I go to play again. Now I'm just like, you just robbed me.
That's right.
It's
You
like,
took all
dude,
my
what's your-
skin money, and I don't get it back,
Oh,
unlike
exactly,
CS:GO.
I mean,
Oh, I forgot the skins, bro. How many skins you
skins.
got on there? You got some
I
skins on there?
had at least, I want to say $200, and this was only in fucking season 1, dude. You know that,
Oh
right?
god. So you
Oh,
was
yeah.
like,
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, dude, no way, no
Dude,
way.
That's like my
Uh-huh.
biggest fear. I got some pretty decent Valorant skins, and I'm like, holy shit, bro. Or like some of the people with like these CS skins that are worth like $1,000.
that's one of my biggest regrets, bro. Is so when I stopped playing CS in 2016, I
sold.
sold my inventory.
Yep. Yeah,
Bro, I
that's
lost out on
upsetting.
literally like thousands of dollars. Like it's ridiculous the amount that like these like so like I had a butterfly D-Pat, like Forest D-Pat in kind of good shape. Dude, it went from like $200 to where I bought it to like it's like at $1,000 now. Like it's
Yep.
just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
You could have resold it at that.
Yes,
Price?
yes. Like people have bought it at that price, like
It's
around
aging like
similarly.
fine wine, bro.
Well, and
CSGO is
it's-
aging like fine wine.
The main reason is because CS2 they announced that you'll be able to bring skins over. So if
Right.
you have something
For
in the old
sure.
one, then you can have it in the new one. So now those skins are now valuable again because people, you know, and that's the cool thing with CS:GO skins too. They are finite. So like you can have so many versions of, you know, like what's
Dragon
the
Op.
Patina one? Yeah, like something crazy like a Dragon Lore or something like that. But so many ones they'll have like a different float value where there's a certain little scratch that's different or it's not completely
Yeah,
perfect.
battle
Or-
damage is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Yeah,
or you
Baird
also
one
have
and all
the like fades, so like the marble fades, the like
Oh, yeah, yeah,
chroma
yeah.
key like knives that will like I think there was one I heard of recently. It was like a butterfly. It's like an emerald fade. So it's a green fade, which apparently is like there's 5
Rare.
that have ever been
Holy
made like
shit.
that. And it's like a 30 grand knife. Dude, pixels
I
in
ain't
the
paying 30
screen.
grand
Like,
for fucking pixels, bro. You got me fucked up.
Imagine opening that pack though, dude.
dude, you just like,
Yeah,
you got a new comp, you got a half
like-
a new car. Like,
Yeah.
If you don't have pictures, nobody would believe you. If you didn't have screenshots, nobody would believe you.
I mean, it's
No,
in your
you just sell
inventory.
it.
Like, yeah.
You just go boom.
I'd
Put
be
it
my
out.
call, be like, dude, I just pulled an emerald karambit. Be like, no, you didn't, bro. And it's like, that's when I share my screen. It's like, picture
Taking
didn't
us
happen,
for
bro.
you're taking us out for dinner, right? Drinks on you.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, would you hold on to it and try to curb more value over time, or what?
I would wait
what you
until
guys
CS2
do?
comes out at least, because then that'll be the hypest when the active player base. Now, granted,
what if they
if
come
that
out
goes
for
for like 10
Emeralds?
years, then I don't know. But like at some point, you
Yeah.
got to take profit, right? Come on, isn't that the point?
I mean,
you know?
on that, you just, whatever, right?
Yeah, it's a
Maybe we'll
free.
just,
You paid what,
Right.
like $5 for the case? Like,
Right. Yeah, you just
Like
take it.
250 for the key, 250 for the case. Yeah,
yeah.
seems about right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a scam. They know what they're doing. They're like,
Those fuckers.
Oh yeah,
They're
because
like, we're not
none of
gonna
us
do that.
here will ever get one of those knives.
Yeah,
But
they're
now
like,
we probably just sent half our audience. They're gonna go buy CS:GO skins now. So god damn it.
If you
Don't
subscribe
gamble,
to the
kids.
Patreon, if you subscribe to the Patreon, that's how we get our CS:GO cases for our funding. You
No,
know what I'm
that's
saying?
not. No,
I
that's
wish.
not.
I wish. If only.
I want to
If only.
definitely say that that's not what that money goes to.
I wish. But
Yeah,
you know,
guys. So appreciate your support. We're just gonna be buying CS:GO cases with it. So appreciate it. Thank you. Like the
Dude,
most
what-
selfish reason.
you know, I wonder if we opened up one case. What if we did get something crazy? What if we did? Maybe we should do that. Just get one.
Dude,
But that's how the addiction starts. That's how it starts.
God, yeah,
That
like
is-
we're
yeah,
gonna
don't
like
do it.
add it onto the show, and then it's gonna be this weekly bit people ask for, like, hey, you guys
Like,
open the
where's the case?
case?
Where's the
Like,
case?
yeah.
like,
And then
oh, God,
people are
no.
fans of the case openings, not even the podcast. It's a whole slippery slope, like you said.
yeah.
So, but Val, you like Val, Keith? You're a Val
Yeah.
guy.
I got to get back, dude.
Hell yeah, I'm like high. I'm averaging like Diamond 1, Plat 3. I'm like
Yeah.
constantly falling back in and back.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't the best, but I ain't the suckiest. That's for sure. I ain't the shittiest. out
For
of my
sure.
friends.
I feel like
yeah.
past like diamond, it's essentially, do you get lucky like in the lobbies that you get into / like that's where you really have to start just grinding out hours and understanding every little feasible bit of the game. But I feel like, you know, the guy who plays, let's say, you know, 4 or 5 times a week can get to diamond and like, you know, comes home after his job and plays a couple games, you know, like stuff like that. I feel like though that is where that like level kind of stops though. And obviously you're gonna have the outliers who just, you know, are naturally gifted. Like, dude, there's guys I don't even get it. Like, they're just so good at any game they ever pick up. It's crazy.
I'll be playing in my game. I'll be like, yo, this guy's short. Then all of a sudden, it's like this jet getting like a 4K. Then he's like, oh, got him, get my ace. And it's like a 10-year-old. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
What the
Yeah.
hell? Yeah.
oh, bro, fucking 10-year-old's running my lobby right now. I gotta get out. I better leave.
But you don't get his reaction time is like 1/10 of a millisecond.
Yeah.
So like he just sees everything.
Gifted gamer.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. So we're gonna break it up a little bit here, and I'm gonna give us some more information about our wonderful sponsors out there. We got Liquid IV. We were talking about them earlier on in the show, but they are a hydration multiplier. So think of it, you know, similar to your sports drinks, your Gatorades, your Propels, your body armors, your stuff like that. They have 3 times the amount of electrolytes that you'll find in most of those drinks. They've got vitamins B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C. They do have the sugar version, which has about, I want to say it's about 45 calories or so per packet. They did just come out with their sugar-free formulation. And we talk about this every episode now, but yeah, if you're out there, you're doing keto, or you know, you're maybe a diabetic or something like that, you need to watch your sugar levels. This is a great product to do that and still stay hydrated. So head over to liquidiv.com. You can check out all the great flavors there. They got lemon lime, guava, watermelon, passion fruit, strawberry, pina colada, white peach, grape. I mean, if you name it, they have a flavor for it. So head over there, check those out. Use, like I said, promo code Mafia_Moffitt. That's going to get you the 20% off, as well as free shipping over there. So thank you to our friends over at Liquid IV. We appreciate your support. And yeah, I mean, I drink it every week. It's great. Tastes awesome. Helps keep you hydrated when you're out at the hot field, because it has been a hot summer. And one of the ways we've stayed hydrated during that, or hydrated, energized during that summer, is NECTR Energy. We appreciate them as well. Little pouch. So if anyone out there's seen like Zyn, Snus, products like that, it is similar in shape and kind of form, but the principle of it is completely different. There is no nicotine, there is no tobacco. This is a product that just contains caffeine as well as a neurotropic cognizine acetylcholine. I think I actually pronounced it correctly this week, so I'm proud of my pronunciation on that. They've got their two great flavors, iced mango and fresh mint. The main focus for this product is just to be kind of that energy drink replacement to help kind of get you pepped up and energized without that, you know, overly sugar rush that you usually have, which then leads to that crash, or even just, you know, way too much caffeine, which can also kind of lead to crash like symptoms sometimes. But you know, they're just a great little kind of, you know, product you can throw in your pocket. You can grab it out whenever you need it. I know like Hatch usually uses it on his ride home from the field. Helps keep him awake and ready to go during that. Brando, have you used it during surgery yet?
I have a couple times. Yeah, I've put it underneath the mask.
There's no way you're allowed to. There's no way you're allowed to, technically.
It's under his mask.
I mean, hypothetically, I would put it underneath my mask. Hypothetically.
Yo, just open mask, just like sucking on something in the middle of surgery. I don't think that'll work.
Drop it in their rib cage. You're like, oh.
So sorry about that. Yeah, so don't use NECTR internally. I shouldn't have to say that. Don't use it. Don't drop it into someone's rib cage if you're doing surgery, any of those things. But you can head over to NECTR, NECTR.energy/MafiaProductions, where you're going to get the buy two, get one free coupon, as well as free shipping. You can also get some more information if you want that over there as well. So head over to NECTR Energy. We appreciate them as well. Thank you for coming on to the show. And just one more quick reminder. Got to show it to you guys. Just Media Series Band can be up for grabs for one of you guys, for one of our lucky Patreons. So support all of our wonderful patrons over there. But yeah, jumping back into the show tonight, we have a couple more kind of topics to go over. We actually have some video topics to go over, so I'm kind of excited about that. One that kind of splits kind of the world of paintball and everything else that I did want to get some input on, and I'm actually going to drop this into the chat, Keith, so if you want to check this out real quick. But the quote I thought of when I saw this was, we found the airsoft version of Hatch. So I'm going to drop the clip in here to the podcast real quick, so if you guys want to see that.
That was cold. Oh, the walk off. I got it. You better keep running that shit.
Oh, I am. I thought you felt that.
There, that's just dropped in chat, so Keith, you can go check that out. But just absolutely savage execution, which brought up a couple things. A, I mean, nice kill, dude. Nice job. But B, it is kind of crazy to me to see airsoft players wearing tiger wear and a dye headwear mask, and seeing a lot of stuff that we have from, you know, our quote unquote sport is kind of making its transition over there, especially with HK now, you know, actually making, you know, airsoft dedicated products. Yeah. And so we saw, you know, Ronnie and Chad went over to play on, you know, some airsoft event over there. I'm not fully sure which one that was. You know, what's kind of your thoughts on everything that's going on with that, Keith?
I think it was pretty cool that they went out there, basically paid for it and made it sweet. So airsoft, I think it's cool, but what Ronnie was telling me was it pretty much goes off an honor system, even like their competitive league, which is kind of not it. Right?
Yeah.
When people cheat paintball with
I was gonna say, we see how that works here.
Paintball, and like, dude, if I'm shooting you and you're not getting out, then what are we really doing? And that's, you know, what he was saying. He's like, dude, he's like, you come out, you snap this kid clean, and he's just out, shooting at you. You're like,
yeah.
What? So
it's funny.
Like, he also said this. He said, if you say get him out, that's a penalty.
What?
I swear, that's what he said.
I just feel like you
can't like react to someone getting hit or something? That makes no sense.
Dude, like what?
Also,
like,
dude,
if you tell the ref to get him out, that's a penalty.
Dude, if you put that penalty into paintball, half of like an NXL tournament would just be dudes getting showed off for that. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't even be able to look at a guy because every time I look at him,
that's part of the game. Like, hey, get him the fuck out. Like, it's just
There's a reason why
reaction.
soft is in the airsoft. That's
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fuck.
Like what?
Damn, Brandon
Honestly, dude.
comes in for the execution. Doesn't say anything. Shows up for that.
Honestly, dude, my favorite airsoft clip is that one, the one that I just dropped, the good old fashioned he burnt my patch.
Yep.
That's that is the
I'll
greatest
have to
fucking clip
add
ever,
that
bro.
in here as well.
That's like the most iconic airsoft video ever, almost.
Pushing all the way around. All right. What are you doing? Dude. What are you doing? What the heck? What are you doing?
Dude, what the heck? What?
Why are you saying what?
Did you spill all of that guy? Yeah. He burned my patch. He burned your patch? Yeah. He's a little kid, bro. Back up! Little kid. Hey, you need to call the cops or something, dude. Want me to walk off? Yeah, get off. I need to talk to you.
The whole story behind it, where it's like their airsoft clan, he's like, he put my patch on the grill and burnt my patch. It's like, bro, what the fuck?
He beamed that kid.
Yeah. So it is funny that your first experience, or kind of, what you've heard from, your friend hanging out and stuff, is that like the cheating stuff. So same exact side for me. I talked to Kwitsky about this not all that long ago, and kind of, was seeing his experiences filming it, and he's like, it's kind of dope. It's kind of like paintball. Like, there is some cool parts about it, but it's just the cheating is rampant. Like, it's just ridiculous because, like you were saying, you literally see your BB fly off of someone, but then it's it. Like, there's no evidence that it ever hit him if you didn't like see it in that moment.
I feel like even with like the reffing, you blink and you'd miss it.
Correct.
But
at the same time, like, there's a certain point where like this guy's getting just shot. Like, he's just be removed.
Yeah, at that point, I'm never flinching.
Yeah, like I posted a video.
You don't flinch now.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I posted a video like it was Philly, not this past Philly, but the Philly before, and it was Dalton down the Dorito side, and dude, he catches one on the arm pad in the arm. He does not even move. Like, the ref eventually did see it, but like his first initial reaction, there's no movement. You wouldn't even know he was hit if you didn't see the paint. So like, if you get good at that in airsoft, I feel like you're invincible. All of a sudden, you're now the Ollie Lang of airsoft. Like,
right. You got the 15 kill streak, the juggernaut.
It looks like it could have a lot of potential if they somehow fix that. Though.
When they have like body sensors, where it's like, because it's the.
So now we're playing laser tag with BBs.
I know, bro. I mean, shit.
But I do like what you're saying, because I think there are some fun aspects to it. Obviously, there's, there isn't paint, so it doesn't like destroy a field nearly as much. The things like, actually going in and changing a mag. There's something kind of fun about doing that. Like, I can see aspects for it that would be pretty cool, but man, there just are some logistic problems that I'm like, that I don't get how that could be played at a high level in a like fair way.
The milsim of it is awesome. It looks cool, yeah. That's what I've always liked. Like playing Army Men when I was little. Like, that's all I wanted to do was have the military gear. But yeah, as you said, the competitive side, I can't.
But then you grew out of that when you were like 12 and you picked up a paintball marker because
it's 17. But yes.
How? Okay, Brandon. Honest question. How? So Keith, to give you some background, Brandon's grandfather grandfather and dad were some of the original Iron Men from the early 90s team. So how, with that as your background, did you not touch a paintball marker until you were 17?
Yeah. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, they really let you down on that one. Like,
they really did.
You could be Keith's teammate right now. Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, I let my dad know. Yeah, why didn't you just force me into it? I don't know. I
know your dad will hear this because he listens to the show. So shout out, Mike. Come on, what's going on,
stats, bro?
Dude, if I started how like Little Ev started, but with the background of my family, oh my god. I don't know where I'd be.
I could only imagine, back could have thrown a pigskin over the mountain, would have gone pro.
Yeah. Floating on the paintball field, not even touching.
That's essentially what I'm hearing right now.
Uncle Rico. Uncle
Brandon.
Uncle Brandon. You are an uncle, huh, Brando, with your nephew. That's what you gotta do for your nephew now, because now the opportunity for you is past, bro. Now you're an old man.
Yeah, all right, chill. All right, relax.
We just had you're good. You're good. We just had a birthday. So we're both old men now.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah,
Just
whatever.
a little bit older than I am.
All right, chill, relax.
I
I'm not
mean,
that old.
You're usually the oldest person on the show, but I don't think
It's
you
okay,
are.
Brando.
I don't think you are tonight. I mean, how old are you, Keith? You've been playing the game for quite a
I'm
bit.
30.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm 30.
And which
Not bad.
is actually crazy when you think about that. Like, you've been playing the game for almost 20 years, like we said. I mean, that's
The guy's the biggest
2/3 of your
specimen of the
life
entire
you've had a
sport,
paintball
you know?
marker in your hand.
The athletic specimen of the sport. When
That's
you
it,
come to
man.
the most agile player, you probably think of Keith Brown, you know? So that's just me, but
That's it,
All right,
man.
Hash.
That's it.
what's up, bro? I'm just saying, dude. I'm a
No,
big fan.
I appreciate it, bro. I was
I
going the other
appreciate
way
that,
there,
my
just
guy.
like, you know, when you think back to that, like, that is kind of crazy, you know. 2/3 of your life essentially have been played, or not played, but have been spent with paintball being something that, you know, you were actively a part of.
Oh man,
I guess,
so
like,
wild now.
I guess I was just like, you know, the time changes obviously, but like, what, you know, what remains the same in that? Like, are there things that, you know, you can still kind of feel, all right, that reminds me of my childhood a little bit. That reminds me of the reason why I, you know, started showing up to the field to try and do all this.
Every once. Well, the thing is, I'm still going to a field that I've been going to since I pretty much, 2 years in.
Mhm.
I'm going to, it was CFP, now it's Legacy, and it's owned by Jason, which is cool.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because that was the spot that I always went to, and it's weird because I went to Tiki's and I go, this isn't home, like immediately. Like I was like, it had nothing to do with anything that they did. They were very nice and everything, but I was just like, this isn't the spot.
Yeah.
So like I've been going to the same place like as you've mentioned forever. So like I kind of do feel that almost every time that I still go out there.
Mhm.
Now everything is a little different,
Yeah.
obviously.
Oh, I bet.
But yeah, when you turn down the same, you know, drive to, you know, head down the field, there's always kind of that like,
It's the
damn, bro, I'm still
Yeah.
doing this shit.
yep. Yeah,
Damn.
for sure.
Okay.
My local paintball field's closed, bro. The closest paintball field, hour away.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
that. I mean,
damn. Is
it's
that
an
the
hour
one-
for me though. Yeah.
So was that the one Sencal was at, or was it the one that was closer to you?
The one that's like in Fresno, it was like, I'm pretty sure, no joke, it literally used to be like a valley of a dump. That's why it smelled like poopy caca all the time.
Oh shit! It wasn't just the paint.
No, no way, bro. No way. And they would like in the winters, they would flood it in the winter because you couldn't play there at some points in the winter because they would just flood the entire valley with just this poopy water, and it was disgusting.
God,
So that's what I grew up on. Not even gonna lie,
Pat's was
that's-
built
that's
different.
it.
dude. I wish I had the resources like that I had for like Capital Edge now. I wish I had those resources, but
Yeah, you actually have like a turf field and some stuff to play on.
you
I
know
mean,
what I'm
it's
saying?
funny. Like, I think back to the first field I showed up at, Shooters. Like, I think I've talked about this on the field, or on the show, but just a little, you know, woods ball type field. Like, the only kind of like, you know, air ball type thing they had was like a little hyperball arena that was set up, but even that was like really big, really spread out. Like, they had the tubes. That's kind of what, you know, the only thing was. So, no, yeah, it is crazy what you have to do to like start playing this game. And then, you know, you're able to find your great facilities, CFP, your PB fits, your capital edges, you know, your different spots across the country. There's probably one in the Northeast I'm forgetting. There's probably one in the Northwest I'm forgetting, but you know how it goes. There are so many great examples now of like a high level paintball field, and I think that's cool because for a long time it was just like the shack that you head to that has the compressor and like they bring a skid of paint in.
yeah. And now
Yeah.
the best paintball facilities, it's like an arsenal. You know, you go and you can have all these. Back in the day, you had Tippmann 98s. Now a lot of fields have like Emex or something like that, or
Yeah.
you know, higher quality markers.
Yeah, something a little more reliable. I mean, not reliable
shoot
because the
straight.
98 you could literally run over with a car and it'll still work. But yeah,
Yeah.
something that at least like shoots kind of straight, like
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
better of an experience for the
Tippmann-
user.
Tippmann be going everywhere, bro.
It's because
Yeah.
half those barrels are bent from being run over by cars.
It is what it is.
Hey, but you can still do
It
good.
is.
I was talking with Matt about this. We did our live stream in Infinite Paintball. Matt the gym rat I'm talking about. But he did his video, or it may be coming up in a video soon, where he uses a Cronus, a Tippmann Cronus for a point. And he still gets a 4-pack. So it is doable. You can go out there and you can make it happen. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be fun, but you can make it happen.
Goddamn, those deposits be acting up, dude. They be accumulating for sure, dude. So he's like, let me just clock in, use some of the savings on these Tipman players, you know. What a god, dude. I love Matt.
Yeah, no, I'll be excited to see when that video comes out. Another one of the you know, kind of every random day life stuff I wanted to talk about because I thought this was crazy. But Keith, you ever heard of Kai Cenat, the Twitch streamer?
Yeah.
You know Kai, yeah, head of the W communities. I mean, I think he's now holds the record for like the most sub 2 streamer ever. Like, freaking dude came out of not nowhere, but the last couple of years he's just
past years,
yeah,
wild,
been
for him,
blowing
for sure.
up, yeah. And so I don't know if you've heard what happened, but he hosted like a kind of a fan meetup / giveaway type thing in New York. Ended up shutting down the streets of New York. Like they had, I want to say it was estimated like 7,000 to 10,000 people who showed up for this event. It got to the point where it was essentially a riot. Like some of the footage that came out during it, you know, you've got people smashing cars and shit and random stuff like that. And to me, the two parts were crazy. Was one, like how quickly it went to angry. Like they showed up to see their, you know, person they like, and then like 2 hours later they're breaking shit. But then also, it is crazy to me that a Twitch streamer now has the amount of pull that with like a week's notice, they can get 10,000 people to show up at a random place in public. Like, I think that's absolutely like crazy. I didn't know if you guys saw this story during the last week, but yeah, it was.
I didn't see that, but yeah, I know about him. He's
I wonder what's gonna happen to him because he got arrested for inciting a riot.
I mean, so I looked into that a little bit. It looked like the charges they gave him were both kind of like small misdemeanor charges. And so like if he has a good lawyer, he may be fine. I think they were honestly more so just trying to get him out of the area because he was the guy who was kind of fueling it. And not even like he wasn't doing anything wrong. It's just that the fans were trying to get to him, you know, and then that was causing chaos. And then it just kind of builds on itself. And that's, you know, chaos in public places starts to, you know, get out of hand. So yeah, my takeaways from it is goddamn Twitch is taking over. Like Twitch stars are just as big as, you know, like anyone else at this point.
Yeah, they're
Twitch streamers more than like the most recent Bachelor, you know.
Oh, 100%.
That's actually probably a good point. Are Twitch streamers the new reality stars?
I was looking earlier at this dude Tarek. You know Tarek.
Oh yeah, I know Tarek.
Tarek had 84K. Just watching him watch a Valorant tournament.
Well, but that's also what Tarek does. That's his show. Yeah, so his Val watch alongs. But
he is one guy though. He has more people watching him than like a channel on. You can scroll on the TV. He is one person.
Yeah.
That's a good, yeah, and those are all concurrent viewers. So like the actual numbers are probably like even crazier. You know, when you see how much his streams get watched.
Yeah, it's just nuts.
The crazy thing with a guy like Tarek is like, dude, back when I was playing CSGO in 2014, 2015, I was also watching Tarek streams because he was still streaming back then. But instead of 80K people, it was a couple hundred. And like, that's kind of, you know, when streaming was first starting and like becoming a thing. And that's really where I learned about Counter-Strike and all that stuff back in the day. So it is really cool to see, you know, the growth of something from like this weird kind of offshoot of YouTube where like gamers go and do their thing to like, yeah, you legit had a dude just like shut down public from like just saying he'll show up.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, I remember like YouTubers having a couple hundred at like malls, and that was an issue. But I can't. I didn't see any of the videos, but
the guy shut down.
But this is like back in the day where how far it's grown. I
see what you're saying. So like the first generation YouTubers could gather 100. Now we can gather 10,000.
Jesus.
God, that is so crazy how dude, the guy shut down the whole fucking city basically, dude. Obviously not the whole city, but you know, pretty big part.
Yeah, it was Union Square in New York. That's where it took place.
That's a huge area to take over, bro.
Yeah, Brandon's laugh.
Oh my god.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think the small side of the estimate was like 7,000. The large side's 10,000. So take what you will from that. But that's still a shit ton of people, man.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Holy shit, dude. I would go.
You would go for the content though, Hatch.
Without a doubt. Without a fucking doubt.
Yep.
You know, something that's funny that I don't think the footage will probably never surface, but there was a part where I took Brando's GoPro while swimming with sea turtles, and I did like a little vlog for you, Ryan. So
I want to see that. What?
Yeah, I did a little vlog. Dude,
That's hilarious.
I just dove down, dude. The fucking mask is just annihilating my face. My mustache is like that. So I'm just like, welcome to From the Sidelines here with sea turtles. I got Brando and Michelle here in the water. You know,
all right, Brandon, you got to make this happen because now he said it on live stream, or not on live stream. He said it on the show, so everyone's gonna want to hear it.
Bro, we got Twitch on the mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Gotta go watch a Tarek stream now.
Yeah, bro. All right, so I had like maybe one or two more things to go over tonight. Hatch, did you have any other questions? I know you had the coaching one. That's what you told me about. Was some other ones you had for Keith?
I kind of asked that one a little bit earlier when it comes to obviously your different style of play. But one thing I wanted to ask is, so obviously coming from that winning formula from Impact, what was it being that spark plug for Damage? What were some of the things that you iterated from Impact that went over to Damage?
Some things would be like lingo, maybe not the exact,
relay a call.
Right, wordage, but that stuff goes very far when it comes to, as you know, now that you're getting into semi-pro, of how much that actually matters. Like, you need to have a call for whatever the case is.
Efficient communication.
Almost everything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything because there's some stuff I just want you to just say, like, dude, he's going. He's just let me know if he's going. I don't want to hear no clue.
Yeah, like, I don't need some.
Just let me know if he's going. But, like, there's some other stuff that you obviously go through.
Bandit is Tokyoing the Mega and Ricky 2 with the double Lucy left. And it's like, bro, what are you saying? Like, but that means something.
On some, there was a couple teams, AC Dallas. I don't know what they're doing, but AC Dallas back in the day used to have some just too much going on.
I think I have an Uprising video, and the legitimate comms that he says are Dorito 2 toilet the monster.
Like,
what the fuck does toilet mean, bro? Like, are you bunkering someone? Like, and if so, can we come up with something cooler than toilet?
We got the Goblin call. I think the Goblin call is fire, dude.
Oh, you gave it away, Hatch. You can't do that.
It is what
you
it
gotta
is.
change it.
Yeah, he didn't say anything else. He just got it.
Ofa. That's what it is.
Yeah. Right on, right? Or
Yeah. God, I can't believe I hit him with that last week. That one was so fucking nasty. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, that was he got him with a pretty big one. You'll have to see. I'll post a reel of that at some point during this week. But yeah, shout out Michael Diaz, our last host on last guest on the show. Okay, so that was your question there, Brandon. I mean, you really haven't said much, Brandon. So what's been going on over there?
What's been rolling through this brain?
All right.
Barely.
This man was operating on humans today. All right, give him some space.
Relax.
Valid.
All right. No. So I've heard several people on your team and even your coach talk about, like, you guys play a lot of one-on-ones, and like, do you like playing the one-on-ones, or you must like it now? But was there a point where you didn't enjoy one-on-ones, like during practice and whatnot? And then at what point did you begin to like them or enjoy them?
I would say I don't really like doing them, only because like it is way too hot to be doing some one-on-one sometimes.
In Central Florida, yeah.
Especially when you have to practice for a tournament. So think about it, opening up the day and you play a one-on-one against every dude on your team. Let's just say you just played 8 one-on-ones, okay? And
Brandon
you don't want to lose because obviously you're playing your teammates. You don't want to lose, dude. That's just not acceptable.
Yeah, you're gonna hear shit about that for the rest of the day.
So you just spent five times in a one-on-one battling this dude whose shot is on every single ball. You were gassed out tired by the time you even played 1 point on the layout. That's when I didn't like it. I had to say something about it. I was like, dude, we're wasting too much energy.
That's why I feel like the one-on-ones need to be like a pod and a hopper. Because then it's like someone's got to try to make a move, like something, we're not just here to burn endurance or anything. Like,
dude, we were burn ourselves clean dead before they even started.
All right, now we got 30 points. Go ahead, boys.
I don't like the one-on-ones, but you know, if the team needs that guy, sign me up. I'll be that guy for a one-on-one. You know, but
Hell
like,
yeah.
actually, them, hell no. But they're cool. Brando,
Yeah. And now
Brando
that
lost
they
a
won-
one-on-one. Go ahead, Keith. My bad.
Now that they won us 2 tournaments, I will never complain.
Yeah,
Literally,
no, I
now
mean,
you
with
guys
the
won 2 tournaments from that.
You know, like I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
yeah, and you know, and maybe from your perspective, the one-on-ones weren't, you know, all that helpful. But I guess when you look at Jacob's perspective, that set him up for success now. You know, twice
right.
he had a situation
sure.
where he had to be a better gunfighter, and just so turns out that you guys then take a lot of time doing that at practice, and you know, it translated.
Right.
So,
It pays
yeah,
off.
I feel like, you know, practice from that standpoint can always be varied like that. Maybe it's not the skill that's helping you out you know, as much, but maybe for your team in general, it's just good that you're helping get them reps, so then they're building their skills and stuff as well.
Right.
Iron sharpens iron, man. It's always the way it's been.
I couldn't tell if you were trying to drop in like an Iron Man comment or what
No,
that
I'm
was,
saying,
but
did you guys never heard that? Iron sharpens iron?
no,
Is that
I have, yeah.
I was like, am I fucking crazy, dude? Is this like the J Rabbis where no one else heard about it?
No, that one was just you, bro. I'm pretty sure you fell for a conspiracy theory.
Dude, without a doubt I did, because I legitimately thought it was the thing. I forgot who fucking told me that.
Dude,
We gotta roast them,
so
whoever
funny.
it was.
I gotta find that shit. If you're listening, dude, comment.
If you're listening. All right. So one-on-ones, Brando. Yeah, you had a couple more things written down, I feel like.
Yeah. One-on-ones. I hate one-on-ones. Jesus Christ.
I was trying to remember your list, but
Yeah.
you're good.
No.
You're good.
I hide my list. And then, all right. So, and I was watching a couple of your games, your last games, noticing for a man with swaggy in his name, it's not so swaggy, man. It looks like you're rocking the pack like way up here, bro.
Whoa,
like underneath your
whoa.
armpits. I just want to know, is that like intentional? I don't know, bro.
Listen, dude, like, listen, when you're running that fast and then you hit that ground, the pack is coming up.
That's a good
It's
point.
regardless.
He's spitting facts.
You can't stop the pack from moving up. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
see what you're saying. Like, yeah, you know,
like,
if you're
I'm
running a 4.3 and then you
if you're-
slide,
if you're hitting
friction's
at
just gonna
max
make that
speed,
shit go up, you know?
Like, it just happens. You know, you can't worry about the swag when you're in the trenches, dude.
God
Oh,
damn.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Belly
the
flopping
things-
in the trenches.
for me, I got my head going on like that. As long as I'm getting the 3-pack, bro, like,
It don't matter. It
It
don't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
All right. I like it. Okay.
Dude,
Okay.
Keith could play with
that
his-
was a good
with his
question,
pot back
man.
upside down.
That's
He could play with his pot back upside down and no one would question it.
right. That's right.
Yeah. Bring back.
This
that guy,
See,
like-
if you go back into those Impact Series videos, I had it on the side.
You become
A
the
couple
front pack
times,
guy.
yeah, I would
You're
slide
the front
over.
pack guy.
That's right.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did know. That was too skinny, bro. What the heck?
Oh no, dude, there are some times, dude, where it's like your pack starts to get a little loose after using it so much, where you're like diving a snake and you're
Literally,
like
though.
rolling your elbows
Yeah.
like to get it off your stomach, and
No,
it just
literally.
all the way around sometimes. Oh man, that is the worst. It's time for
It
me
is.
pack 101.
It's rough, dude. It's rough.
Yeah, well, so it is a good sign that if, you know, you're a dude and that's happening, like, you know, maybe hit the gym a little bit, you know, put some more pounds on, because if you're just a stick and that shit's just flying off,
It's
sorry,
just
bro.
flying,
You
dude.
can't help it, you know?
I'm
The
gonna start
best
wearing my
Velcro
shit
can't
like
keep
the-
it on.
I'm gonna start wearing my shit like the toga, you know, diagonally like Rambo.
You
be
got
kinda
like a
clean.
crossbody
See how that-
bag out
see
there,
how that
bro.
one
Like,
works? That'd be pretty
They're
sick.
kind of
you're
clean.
slinging it forward,
Imagine,
grabbing
like,
a
the reach around,
pod.
I'm like shooting right-handed. I'm like pulling it out like that. Oh, that'd be sick, right?
Yeah.
That'd be sick, right?
All right, well,
Warrior
that's a
stance.
real. We're gonna make that,
Oh my
and
Here we go, dude. Next level. We're gonna cut to this moment right here, and then cut to the clip.
I like it.
hopefully,
like
if I
it.
remember the time code. But
That's swag right there, dude. If you can pull it out, that's fire.
yeah, I mean, but like building off that question, like, you know, obviously your name's Swaggy, but like a lot of people, I know Hatch, Brando, you guys are kind of a couple of them, but like the whole look good, you know, play good, kind of feel good, that whole type of like everything kind of revolves into a mindset. You know, what's your take on that? You know, I mean, obviously your skills in between the net need to be good, but you know, how does it feel like? Does it feel like it levels you up like little 5% when you got your ag on point?
You gotta have your ag on point, dude. You
Yes,
can't be
sir.
coming out there looking incorrect, dude.
No,
But you know what? And I'm sorry, but a lot of you guys out here, you guys need help.
Damn.
You guys need help, man. Hey, you know,
Ladies and gentlemen.
is Ryan's in the Discord, so like, if he comes in there at the right time, dude, these guys get wild, and even with me. So I can't imagine what they got to say for the rest of you guys out there listening with just stuff on your head that you know you need to take off and get some better stuff on your head. But we just gonna leave it at that because you guys need to go back on some old videos and watch what they got on their head because they look kind of clean with it.
Dude,
Just saying.
my favorite newbie thing to see is the gap of death, dude, where it's like you see someone's
The Brando.
mask and then they put like their headband on, and all you see is like a little gap of forehead in between the mask.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
a
like,
bad
dude,
one.
that's the beacon that I aim for, bro. But,
There's a lot going on with the mask. They got the LMS, dude. You guys know about that?
yeah.
Low mass syndrome.
Yep.
Low
Oh
mass
yeah.
syndrome.
Low mass
Yeah,
syndrome.
so-
Shout out Connor.
Yeah.
Love you, Connor. We've
You
literally
know,
talked about it on the show.
Yeah, if you got the red straps on them, bro, please just go ahead, raise that down.
a little bit.
Just a little bit. That brings up another like 2% right there. Like you're already like
For sure,
looking
yeah.
better. Even with the Dookie headband on, at least when you raise it up, you look like
You gotta at least have proper mask for him.
You look like you know what you're doing now. You know what I mean? You got flex on now. You're like at least another couple points up. You know, so like
For sure. Well, I was gonna
When
say,
people-
I want to see a kid bring back the Cash Money Todd Martinez like green do rag from like 06 back in the day. Like let's bring some of that stuff back.
Year.
Did
Ronnie
someone
had
have
that
like
last
the
year.
no
I'm pretty
like
sure the whole team
so
had it though.
I remember there's this pic. I remember it was. And maybe that's what maybe I didn't see. Maybe Ronnie and them did it. I didn't
think
see the
it was
picture.
Ronnie and them.
But there was a funny pic I remember seeing from like 06 or something where like Todd has his like ginger afro and it's like covered by this like money green do rag and he's like it is. I think it was a Dynasty at the time maybe or something like that. It's such a funny photo. If you guys can find find that in the history books.
He got it. He says you go to the hood gas station in like the middle of LA. And boom, they're right there at $5.
There you go.
That's
I'm waiting for you.
I want to say it was like the first event. Andy Horvath was talking about it, and he's like, "Yeah, you can just find these things. You just go to the hood gas station, dude. They got them."
Yeah,
It's
dude.
like, oh man,
Damn, maybe that's the look.
The people who
Hatch,
would get like
replace your
the mesh
balaclava with
bandanas.
one for an event.
I can see him rocking it. Just you know what I mean. Just for like one, not even like a couple points, and you just
Like a
take it off.
couple points,
I'm
yeah.
gonna use like the mesh bandana, not tuck it in all the way to where like the ears stand up.
Oh, God.
That's one of my favorite looks. I'm gonna start rocking that one.
But you know, you guys need to talk to Nick Laval about this because
Okay.
his headgear is horrific, right? And he knows this, and he'll tell you every time. He's like, "I want to look like dog shit." He's like, "So when the other team sees me and I just fried you, you're
pissed. You're like, what the fuck?
You're like, look at this guy, man.
He's wearing the fucking Crown Royal potato sack on his head, and I'm like,
Yo,
this guy.
there's one time where he had this little like green beret thing, right? And it was like a skull cap, but it ended at his ears. It was horrible. It was so bad. But when he was wearing it, he was a demon, dude. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, oh my god, like he looked so bad that he was running through blowing people's shit back. Like this is different. I don't know.
And that's
It was
almost the
just
other
different
side
for
of the
everybody.
argument. Like it's almost more troll, and then, like you get in someone's head more if you go out there purposely fucked up headband, like just not looking it. Like that dude's gonna remember you. He's gonna be like, "How did you shit on
Christ.
me?" Like,
How?
yeah, like obviously you can't look in a mirror. So how did you see me? Like,
Ow.
Yeah, that's funny.
God damn, that is so
Straight
relatable.
up. All right. Well, yeah. So I mean, I don't know topic wise you guys, but I'll split it up here. I got one more video to drop on you guys. I don't know if you've seen about this one, but same thing. I'll be throwing it up in chat, and we'll be putting some parts of it into the show. But this went down in Stockton, which is Brandon's hometown.
Let's go. Oh yeah.
A Sikh, an Indian gentleman who's part of the Sikh religion, got his money's worth and got some revenge. A dude was robbing his store and just found the biggest like broom handle thing he could and went to town on it. Still uploading in chat real quick, so that should be over there shortly. But yeah, this was hilarious. Someone was fighting back, and I love it. And essentially, it's the grown man version of an ass whooping, because it's not even like really violent. It's just like, it's like your dad being disappointed at you. There's like another level to it.
It's a little demoralizing.
Can't even relate to that one. Fuck.
God damn. Ain't nothing you can do there. There's nothing you can do, man. Until you call police. Ain't nothing you can do, man, until police come in. Hey, no, hey, don't. Hey, ain't nothing you can do, man. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Whooping his ass down. That's called whooping your ass. That's called whooping your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn.
But so, Brandon, is this how Stockton is most of the time? Is this kind of
This
what
is
you?
That's how we greet people.
This is your guys' greeting, yeah.
Yeah,
And
you know?
aren't you guys
They
murder
need to
capital
get
of the
Nate
world
Diaz
currently?
on him, dude.
Yeah. Nate Diaz was busy with Jake Paul. That's what it's at.
Yeah.
He was out of town. They knew it was safe.
Jesus.
God damn, dude.
But
God,
Brandon,
$10 for a pack of cigarettes, dude. What the fuck? That's an expensive addiction, bro.
weren't you? Wasn't Stockton like the murder capital of the world for a bit or something like that?
We were.
Chicago, bro.
Did you guys beat out St. Louis?
There was one year. There was one
one
year,
year, yeah.
where we were number one, and now we're. I
Screw
think we're
St.
like
Louis, man.
6. I think we're like 6 or 5 or something like that.
Okay.
We gotta
I know,
shoot
we're
for
slipping.
5 next year. We gotta shoot for
We're
5 this
slipping.
year.
All right.
We're not gonna be shooting for anything, Hatch. I want to make that clear. Like, we're not
Brando's personally
contributing.
gonna up the percentage up. He's
Oop.
never gonna get caught.
Oh boy.
My guy.
Click off this video. But
Click on.
yeah. Well, we're trying to make a top 3. Well,
A top 3 appearance. Holy shit.
For the murder capital of the world. All right.
yeah. No. I think it got worse or something. Look at this guy.
I love when
Jesus
people take
Christ.
pride in like the shittiest like parts of their life. Like, it's funny to me, and it's funny they're now getting to the part, I'll throw it up, where he's starting to just let him have it, and it's like he's such a dad, man. Like he's just like, this is what you get, man. Like he's disappointed, angry. It's not even like just fuck
He's
you
just
or
beating his
anything.
legs, dude. He's just beating his
Spanked him.
legs.
For Stockton,
spanked him.
that's a friendly interaction for Stockton, bro.
It was a very friendly
That's
interaction.
what we're saying.
That's
Yeah.
friendly.
He's just beating his legs down, man. He needs
I
to
mean,
be
he's gonna have some
punished.
bruises, but he's fine, you know.
Yeah.
He's walking away from that.
Literally.
Well, he's walking into the back of a Crown Vic, but same thing.
Yeah. He in trouble.
Yeah, he just tried to rob a lot of shit. That's not gonna go over well, but
Nah, the cops here in Stockton, they got more important
we were
stuff.
just talking
Brando,
murder
so
capital of
He's
the world.
walking home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The guy's just stealing the cigarettes. He ain't doing nothing. No harm.
cops aren't coming.
Now, if he started stealing the donuts that 7-Eleven sells, it's a whole different
Holy
conversation.
shit, dude.
Miss
Flood
SWAT's
act,
there.
flood.
SWAT breaking through the windows.
Some reason CHP's there. I don't know
They're
why.
making a hostage situation if the donuts are there.
All of a sudden, the officer we know who works for CHP is there. He's like, "What's going on?" I can't say that name. But yeah, so I don't know. Another one of those funny stories I found on the internet this week. I thought this man getting his ass handed to him was quite entertaining. So yeah,
It's funny.
Compared to other countries, bro, he's getting off easy, bro. Some people cut off your fucking hands for less.
that's a
Right.
good point. Sharia law,
You know?
we could be, an eye for an eye or a hand for a hand or whatever they do over there.
That guy is playing on easy mode, getting away with a robbery like that.
He's on
You get
recruit,
punished
my
more
guy.
Dude, in GTA, you get shot. That guy just got a friendly ass whooping, bro.
Yeah, that's true. The amount of times Trevor died because I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go rob this ATM real quick, and then 5 stars would happen. I'd have a helicopter on me. It's a whole thing, and then I'd just die in a field somewhere.
You get automatic 2 stars. Like, what is that? That guy didn't even get a star. That guy's off the radar.
That's the crazy thing. Going into the GTA, I don't know how we haven't talked about that, but dude, that game literally came out before I was in high school. And like they still haven't released the second one, or GTA 6. not the second one, obviously, but the new sequel or new release. That's crazy to me, bro.
Dude, I graduated high school when that came out. Jesus Christ, Ryan.
Yeah, that was a while ago. You almost 30-year-old man.
All right, relax. Ow.
All right, calm down. Okay,
Come on, Keith. Come on, Keith. Hey, chill.
30.
All right, sorry,
Jesus.
Brandon. 27.
28.
20,
Right.
27. You're just gonna be 27 the rest of your life. You're gonna be one of those girls who's like, I'm
I'm okay with
25
that.
again.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm working backwards.
Benjamin buttoning it for the rest of your life. I like that. Respect.
28 years young.
God,
You know.
yeah, those people aren't great either. It's like, dude, if you're 90 saying that,
Fuck.
all right, you got some charm, you got some class, but doesn't
Yeah.
work if you're 40.
Sometimes you just gotta say that, dude. That was a for sure thing you would see in the Tinder bios for sure. Be like, I'm 24 years young, and I'm like, all right, left.
Those mean Tinder streets, Hatch. Walked those cold and lonely
Oh,
roads.
man. Those were a fucking wild time, bro. Met some crazy people through Tinder. Met some cool people.
That's
through
pretty
Tinder.
much all you ever hear from that app. I like when it first came out, I actually shot a wedding where they met through Tinder. But since then, all I've heard was like crazy stories and like horrible nights. And yeah, so something happened with society, and that app, I think, caused it.
You can really test your pickup lines there for sure. And like, if they don't laugh, or if you use something that's obviously a little too goofy and they don't like it, it's like, all right, she ain't the one. She ain't the one.
Damn it.
Moving on.
Nope.
You know?
Hatch lives by the shotgun method to life. Send out 400 buckshot. It's gonna hit one bird.
Straight up.
That's it.
Got it. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Cast a wide net.
It's the
bro.
accuracy by volume. It's what we do in paintball. You know, we don't shoot 1 BPS. We shoot 10.
That's right.
0.5 technically, but
Literally, because I can't hit shit, so I gotta shoot 10 balls per second. So, you know,
is it you or is it your paint?
we'll say we'll blame the paint. We'll blame the voice
Blame
crack.
the
Holy
paint.
shit.
All right, yeah, you
voice
always
crack.
have that to fall back on. That's a great thing about
Yeah.
paintball. You didn't
Paint.
bore it, obviously. There you go. That was your problem.
No way, bro. Two
Should have definitely
chronos.
been on you. All right. Well, I mean, that's most of the way through my list. Hatch, Brandon, you guys
Keith.
have anything else on yours? Yeah, I know.
Keith, who's the fastest player in the league?
I'm the fastest player in the league,
I
dude.
just,
Come
I
on,
just,
man.
I just want to know. I just want to double check. That's
All
what I'm
right.
saying.
I want to see you race a fully healed Ty Penelio from Impact. I think that'd be a
Tyler's
pretty good
pretty
race.
fast.
Yeah, fully healed. Once he gets fully recovered after his knee injury, that guy's pretty fast.
I don't know.
Keith, not gonna lie.
I'd have to see you guys together, but
I
I
mean,
still think
don't
Keith's
race
faster.
People. That's what Mouse races people. I
Oh,
race them. I just say I'm the fastest just because I'm not going to just tell you it's fast.
You let the
It's
you
just
let the
humble,
work
you
show.
know?
Yeah, I play on the field, but if he wants to race, Mouse will probably blow his hamstring out. I ain't doing
Just
that.
go monkeying down the field, just
Dude,
completely
he's
sending
so
it.
fast, bro. He is so
Dude.
fast. It's actually
And
absurd. He's beat me multiple times. I'm like, I don't want to race no more. I'm good.
I will say the crazy thing with Mouse too is like obviously Keith, like you look like a dude who would be really agile. You have kind of a smaller frame. Like you're not the biggest dude, and I really don't mean offense by that. But like Mouse, he has that kind of block shoulder, like huge guy frame, and he gets it to move, and it looks scary. Like it does look
Yeah,
scary
he's
when he
very,
is
very
getting
fast,
into
bro.
it. Yeah.
He is very, very fast. No joke. That's just no joke.
What do you do? Or have you worked on your technique and like drilled that to get off the box so quickly?
I've started to change the way that I do work on it now more than ever. And that's just because of there's better ways of doing things, right? And I've just learned that over time.
Got Chris in your ear over there now, talking about efficient
just-
movement and shit.
Yeah, but like I didn't care before, and then someone brought it to my attention. And I was like, if I can get any bit of more performance out of anything that I'm doing, I might as well try. So yeah, I do train it and try to perfect it.
Gotcha. Okay. It's a lot of footwork, I assume.
Yeah, but like I just try to literally I train it by just doing it over and over again. So like I'll just perfect my stance to like my first step like that.
Yeah.
I try to make that like important. Before I never thought about it. I was just running.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like it does make a lot of sense.
I never thought about it before.
And it makes a lot of sense when you break it down. Like that first step is really where that movement starts. Like that's where all that, energy is starting from. So if that's a, explosive and efficient movement, you're already starting off kind of on a little better basis than if it's just something you kind of slip or you're kind of sloppy getting off, the right muscles aren't engaged, things like that.
Exactly.
God damn, dude. It's getting so technical to where if you want to be a pro, you got to start doing that stuff,
It's getting that way, man. That's why Kyle Baird teaches the things that he teaches, is because he knows where it's going.
I'm a big fan of Kyle Baird. I like what he's doing with when it comes to like the perfect practice thing, where it's like snapping. I was watching some of his Instagram reels of the school that he's teaching. Is that a Tiki's? Is that where
that's at Tiki's? Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. I'm seeing what he's doing with like the ML kids and all that. So respect what he's doing. It's really cool.
Absolutely, he's doing a good job. So,
man. We got some of that over here. Some little Timmies.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, and that's kind of a cool thing you've seen with all the not DMG kids, all the just kids programs in general. Now that there is kind of a revamped Young Guns division, we're starting to see, I know Thomas Taylor has his kids. There's, the PB kids, or PB Fit kids, there's ML kids, DMG kids. Like you're starting to now see all these different organizations have their kind of young entry level program. And so, yeah, no, it's cool to see. And Keith, you literally were saying earlier in the show, like that's how you started. You were a young gun player yourself, and then you jumped into the game and, progressed further.
Right. Yeah. So it is. And we were lacking that for a while to where there weren't any new blood really coming up.
Yeah. Or I guess just new opportunities, love it or hate it. Like I know some people have strong opinions about the WNXL, but I think it is good to have more people be able to have an opportunity to play the game kind of in whatever route that they can. There's obviously going to be, guys who are like, well, I've been playing for all these years. Why am I not giving coverage or all this stuff? And, some of that, it's just the state of the world. I don't know. I don't know how to tell you that, but, it is cool that the sport as a whole, Tom and the NXL, I would say, have now opened up more levels for people to come in, whether it's playing these other divisions at events, it's playing in your own kind of age category or gender category, if that's what you want to do. And you don't have to. Jen still plays in D3. She doesn't care. She wants to go do that as well. She can do that. That's fine. I think, I think it is cool that we're seeing more avenues open up for people to get into the sport.
Absolutely.
Honestly, dude. It's not going to be the point to where it's like we're going to need a bigger venue, because there's just going to be so many fields. There's not going to be enough coverage, right? Because obviously we only have one Go Sports live stream and then the Premier field, right? Mm-hmm. Eventually there's going to be so many of everything where people are going to want to watch the kids, people are going to want to watch the women's division, people are going to watch the pro, the semi-pro, right? And every little thing, and especially if we can get a little bit more coverage to the other divisionals, because I feel like now that the Premier field is so far away, is so close to the pro field, so far away from the divisional fields, you don't even really get to see much of that side if you're not actively going over there.
Yeah, so. I will say with the divisionals, the way the what was it? The metaphor I used the other day was it's kind of like single A baseball. If you love baseball, you know what your single A baseball team is. If you live in that city, you know what your city's single A baseball team is. But if you're not one of those two things, you've never heard of it and you do not care about it. You just watch the major league game or whatever your local AAA or AA team is. And I hate to say it, but with divisional paintball, it is kind of a similar level. If you're not actively involved in it, or you're not someone who could potentially be involved within it, like maybe you're going up to that division or something, it is hard for people to latch onto it because there's even less of those storylines and stuff that we're always trying to create for the pro and semi-pro side to get more people into the game. And I know that sucks to hear because I know there's a lot of divisional people who want their spotlight. And don't get me wrong, we should be talking about you guys and showing you guys off as well. Because hey, if people want to come in, they have to start there. They have to go play that level of paintball to get better. So it's it's trying to find that balance of what interests the people outside of the sport, plus also giving those people credit who should be within our sport, because we all see them out at the field. They're the guys who are making all this doable. Really, the generic D4, D5, D3, D2 guys, they're the guys who are spending paint every single week at their local field, which is keeping that place in business, which is, allowing more people to be able to even try the game. So it's all kind of a trickle down effect. It's trickle down economics.
You're definitely right. It's crazy how the game is changing, man. I would like crazy that, what is it now, 2 years ago there wasn't even like a women's division.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, and I would say that's kind of the cool things about our sport, is it has always been a very equal game. Because hey, at the end of the day, I mean, MPPL days was kind of a little different, but my gun shoots the same speed and the same velocity. So
the marker is the greatest equalizer.
Yeah, like sure. Because I mean, Keith may be the fastest guy on the field, but I can still hit him.
Shooting faster than your paintball,
Yeah, and if I get really good with a paintball marker, I could still hit him. Like I'm not a pro player, but I could do that. Like that is something that's physically possible, and I think that's why this game is so interesting because, I mean, you can never be perfect at it because at the end of the day, you're still using an object that is going a lot faster than you, and if someone's better, then they can hit you or outthink you or outmaneuver you, even if it's like little stuff on the field.
Sometimes even out timing, you blink and you miss them pass through a gap, Yeah. And
literally.
Well, that's that clip I have of Axel and I think it's Chewy. I don't fully remember the other guys in the battle, but it's Axel and they're mirrored up at the 50 and Axel lets his gun hit the bunker just the slightest amount. But for whoever was on the other side was like, that shouldn't have happened. There's someone there, and instantly gets up, stabs him, moves on. Like it's those little tiny things, like just a slight bunker movement was all of a sudden now, whoa, what'd you do there? Whoa, that's like, you messed up.
Little mistakes, man. Little mistakes, especially in pro. That'll cost you. As Keith probably knows, right? Being, superstar on multiple different teams.
Oh, yeah.
One little mistake, sometimes when you're in that power position, you're kind of controlling the field like 50 Snake style. Sometimes you die. Dude, that field will get flipped on you so fast.
Literally.
And they're in the driver's seat. So
all that momentum you worked so hard to get up there to earn just instantly goes away.
Right. It's like sometimes you take the 50 Snake. You can have the 50 Snake, right? You can have the territory, but sometimes you peek into an unlucky ball. Now you're not there, and now they have it.
Yeah.
The tide turns quickly. Yeah. The story will change very quickly. All right. Well, I mean, I think that does it for us tonight. Looking over my list, I'm just got about through everything I wanted. We still need a code word, so before we get out of here, I need one of those from you, Hatch. Check it in, Brandon. Do you have anything else for Keith while we have him on tonight?
Close it out with favorite travel story. Going over to Europe, playing over there.
Oh.
It's like, is there one I could say that doesn't get me in trouble?
Yeah, that's what I'm really going through, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm trying to be.
I know the Impact series when you guys were doing the 4th of July over there. That one
that did look crazy.
Fire.
Yeah. And that could have just been
fire.
Like through
but
YouTube.
Out
but
there already. I guess I could tell a story about when we went to my very first time in like France.
Okay.
We ended up, and I went with Damage. This is like 2012, I believe.
Okay. So a decade ago. Damn.
Yeah. We went 2012, and we went, but we didn't go with the intention of like really like win. We went to kind of just have fun and kind of experience it. And we get over there, and we didn't know what we were getting into, so we just stayed at the field where they said to stay. And then we ended up staying at these like bungalows, which were like these little trailer like things. And all the Euros are just outside partying, and you could hear everything.
Because you were just at the event, right? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, we're right at the event, and they're just getting ham crazy out there. Like, it's just absurd. You're like, dude, like, we gotta play in the morning, and these dudes are still drinking.
Yeah, well, I think that's a big culture difference between the American tournaments and the European tournaments. Is it's a party over there, and that's I mean something I haven't been able to witness myself. But damn, I'm jealous when you see the footage and some of the things that go on.
So we used to do that here. You just can't do it anymore. You just can't physically get up and play at the caliber that like.
Oh
you know,
yeah, but I even just more so mean like, you know, the audience, the fans, like people who are just showing up to watch paintball. They're staying at the event instead of like, oh, my games are over, I'm gonna leave. They're, oh, my game's over, I'll go grab a beer and just, you know, hang out and see what's up, or go watch the pro match that's on. Like, I feel like the culture is a little more like they stay at the event more so than I feel like at NXL events. You show up for your time, you check out. Like, it's kind of
but it's weird because when the NXL was like made, everything was taken from Millennium. Everything that was like, as you see, like the volleyball net and all that stuff, that's Millennium stuff. That's not what PSP had. PSP had nothing like that. And that was the whole thing of bringing all that stuff to Beer Truck, was to try to, you know, create that. It's just, I don't know, it's just like you said, it's just different culture and just different people. Like, when we're done, we're just kind of done.
Yeah,
you know, like
we're lazy fried, Americans, dude. You know, what else is it?
We're just fried out. We want to go home, we want to wash our stuff, and that's that, you know. And I don't know, it's weird because we have all the things that made people stay. It just doesn't really matter.
Damn.
Yeah, but that is an interesting point where that came from.
Yeah, going back to the story, so yeah, the bungalows were terrible, and I haven't even gotten to the worst part. So we were in walking distance, but it was still like a mile and a half. So think about bringing your gear bag up for a mile. Yeah, dude, that's just. God. It's like, dude, what? Why are we doing this? Right, and then when we get back to the bungalow, we go to take a shower, and there's only 3 seconds of hot water.
Oh God!
So we had to like lather ourselves up and like soap and like hit it one time, and then you hit it again. You wash yourself off. Yeah, that was rough.
Damn.
And, you know, what ended up saving us was Steve Ratwikoff. He ended up taking the GI card and swiping it out of a nice hotel and getting us out of there, dude.
Oh yeah, that helps out.
Got us out of there, dude. This is just undoable. It was like we were there at the hotel for one night, but that one night made our trip that much better because of how terrible it was there.
That makes sense. Yeah. But you guys were essentially like urban camping in a way, you know, just testing out being homeless, you know. Yeah.
Yep. And these people were just outside, just drinking like normal, you know. It was
just hanging out around the van.
Just hanging out, it was just nuts.
What a great experience.
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Brandon, because goddamn,
that was the first event in France that I forget where they used to have that one. Nice.
Was it?
I think it was.
Nice, and then there was the Chantilly event. Was that the other
Chantilly. I like Chantilly. Chantilly was nice.
Is that the one by the castle or whatever? It's like a castle next to it, right, or something? Like
yeah. I always remember watching that on the Impact series. Like, what the hell? They're playing by a castle? Like,
yeah, there was a castle, and then there's like a racetrack for horses or something. It's nice. That place is nice.
Damn.
And it's like a small part of France, so that's like it's like way different.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's nice.
Probably not anywhere near as many tourists around that area.
Right. I think they still do it there. I want to say that the last one that they'll probably do for the year is there.
Okay. That's their European championship. I think they call it
championship run. Yeah. That's right.
For sure.
That's right.
Damn.
All right. Well, sick, man. I think that's gonna about do it for us. I've got a couple of things I gotta remind our audience members about, and then we will be out of here. The first one is our code word of the week. What's that gonna be, Hatch?
All right, dude. We got swaggy speed, bro. If you hear listening to this show, we got swaggy speed, because obviously we got Swaggy in here. Keith Brown, one of the fastest guys in the pro league out here, dude. Literally leaving people in his dust, not even messing with you. I've seen it. I've seen the clip where it's like he's like right just out of center, running to the snake. All you can see is the cameraman's not even on time, dude. He's literally blitzing past you. So all you just see is the
Not gonna lie, there's a couple guys who it's like you have to be on your shit when you're tracking them, and Keith is one, because it's not necessarily the top speed, it's the acceleration, because it's like, oh shit, oh they're gone. Like that first explosion is what will catch you off guard.
Yeah, so if you're listening now, swaggy speed.
And for any of our new listeners out there, the code word of the week, It's just a way we know who's paying around or who's hanging around to the end of the show. Send that in a DM, let us, or leave it in a comment somewhere. You know, wherever you want to let us know. If you see us at the field, let us know, Swaggy Speed. That way we know you're hanging out to the end of the show, and we appreciate those people. We usually give a shout out. We had like a couple come in, but since we recorded on a weird day last week, we were not able to get those up today. So sorry guys, but yeah, let us know, Swaggy Speed. We'll get you shouted out on the next one. And my last couple things, we got to make sure we drop a rating for the show. Takes a couple seconds. It's free to do. You can do it on Spotify or Apple Podcast. Drop a like on the YouTube version as well. Literally takes 2 seconds of your time. It's completely free to do. Helps support the show and the program. Make sure you drop a subscription on those same platforms. So Spotify, Apple Podcast, you can hit the little follow button. YouTube, just hit the subscribe button. You'll be all good to go. We have the Patreon. We talked about that earlier. Someone's going to be getting a Media Series headband. That's awesome. I may be frosting my tips for Cup if you guys get signed up, which I am actually not as worried about it anymore. I feel like these guys aren't going to do it. I'm calling them out because I'm not scared. So yeah, come at me, guys. You're not going to make me frost my tips for Cup. Such a weird sentence. And then so head over to patreon.com /Mafia_productions over there. And then our 2 sponsors, we appreciate them. We have Liquid IV. I'm drinking out of their bottle tonight, but yeah, appreciate them. Head over, use code Mafia_Mafia for 20%. And the other one, NECTR Energy, dropped the second pouch, but NECTR.energy. Use code MafiaProductions, all one word. That's going to get you your buy 2 get 1 free. So according to my list, that's everything we're supposed to talk about tonight, guys. We appreciate Keith for coming on to the show. It was a great episode. We enjoyed having you on, man. And maybe you guys pick up a couple more NXL wins, and we'll have to have another reason to bring you back on the show, see what's going on with those or something.
There we go.
We got to run some Val soon once you get your account back.
That'll be the play.
Imagine you're still in that immortal elo, and then you're just like, well, time to get fucking my way down.
One of my friends that did happen, he got his account back, and he was still in the elo that his account got banned, and he was like,
oh god.
He's like, I guess I'll just lose a whole bunch.
Yeah, for like the next 3 months, and then
he is just getting
like, what the heck?
voice chat.
Yeah, he's like, dude, so toxic.
They're like, bro, you were 0-19. Why the fuck are you in my lobby? And he's like someone stole my account, man. I don't want to be here. Like,
I don't even want to do this.
My dog's playing for me.
Yeah.
At this point, I stopped caring. Well, awesome, man. Appreciate you coming on by and stopping by.
Yes,
for our special guest, Keith Brown, we also have our 2 hosts, Stephen Hatch and Brando Baird. My name is Ryan Mafia Moffitt. And guys, that's another episode 54 from the Sidelines. Take us home, Hatch.
Bye.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
Here we go.